asked out because he built snowmen on top of the barracks in Chicago. They didn't, you know, like that very much, so he was
last place for creativity is the military.
computer stuff.
You'd be
And
surprised. I thought the same
they never
thing.
really gave him his
Well, I think it's
choice
different
jobs after that.
from.
He was
I think the military is just like any other
dishwasher
generational environment.
and,
I think
Yeah.
as the command
like that.
and officer
But he
corps
basically
age
patched his,
in and
uh,
out of
noise
culture,
canceling headphones so he could listen to
creativity
iPod
takes on a whole
while
new
he
meaning
was,
with each generation that
watching
serves.
TV.
I think it makes a difference.
Zach, they found out Zach could draw, and he got all kinds of shit
Yeah,
doing artwork for him.
it's a different military now. You know, it's multi-layered. I'll tell you what, the lessons being learned in Ukraine right now are vast.
I think he went for the second.
Vast, especially
Yeah.
with all
I think he's
the
doing his last
integrated
year of
drone.
Yeah,
Technology?
you got 13-year-olds taking out like platoons of guys. With,
No, so there was a 13-year-old kid in Kyiv who got him and all of his friends together,
Mhm.
and they used a drone to spot
Calling artillery
all
strikes.
all the columns that were coming into Kyiv, and they were using that as part of an application that Ukraine built overnight. So they built a drone identification application on phones overnight so that everyone who was still in Kyiv that had been pushed out of Bucha were using all of their domestic drones to target everything. So that way the Ukrainian army never had to utilize any of their scouts or spotters and risk them getting, and the Russians had no idea that it was all kids that were doing it.
Jeez, can we nullify the it's
Oh, is it killing her?
Yeah.
Oh. We can certainly try.
What I
Oh, the incense too much for you?
take it
Is
out?
it in a tin when you put it?
No, I gotta go dump it in the sink.
Okay.
I couldn't just cover it up.
No, I don't have a sponge for it.
Say something next time earlier.
Well, I didn't think it was affecting me too much. I was just breathing through my clothes that way. Yeah, but if it triggers
he
your
ended
asthma,
up,
that's not a good thing.
He did the GI Bill to
Heck
do
no,
his
I'm just-
college, and his college was.
Yeah, I've never been very good with smoke either. I've been
Yeah.
breathing slowly, but I've been
Runs-
running a lot of
he
inches
was
in my own
running
room,
the,
basically, so
college,
I have a little bit of a tolerance.
computers in
So I didn't say
Samoa.
anything because
Yeah.
His wife's
I was just-
like the daughter of the chief of the island.
You wanna
so
open
I
they-
know when things are bugging you.
Do you want to open?
But
Leave
I
the door
doing
up, no,
something
my
else
house
now. I have to check and see. So
I also know when your
Think it might be
asthma
one of those
can
cards or
kick
something
in
like that.
too. I'm doing fine though.
Yeah.
Ah, double ones. My
But he's like,
Well, get those out
they think
now.
he's crazy because he surfs out there and then you got like tiger sharks in the water.
Right.
One of these days we'll get over that.
Feeling.
Wow, 2 5s.
Once more with feeling.
Okay, fan the door.
Oh, natural one. I saw that.
Well, that was the wrong kind of feeling.
That's better.
You know, your dice really hate you when you're rolling with advantage and you roll a pair of aces.
I rolled 2 1s.
You get like double penalty on that.
I'll tell you what, so we're avoiding that one today. Remember, if it's low, that's good. If it's high, it's bad. And a natural 20? Yeah.
Quit it, guys. You're jinxing it. You guys are like rolling dice. We're going to have no battle at all tonight.
No, because they're rolling all the dice, we are going to have a battle.
Might not have
Well, this
battle.
is fun. All my cameras are broken.
Oh no.
They're
No!
all broken.
How?
I think the problem I've been having with OBS is they don't support my version of OBS anymore, but the new version that they have out doesn't support multi-camera. So I'm stuck in an older version, and I think as video drivers are being released, it's gradually degrading. It's gradually degrading my my OBS studio. So I have to keep restarting it from time to time.
One of the spiders should be Tiny Tim. Because he's missing a leg.
So
He's
annoying.
only got-
So annoying.
Missing one tiny leg.
So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do about it, but I just gotta deal with it. So I gotta do some research on OBS 28.0 and see if they've added the new plugin for the new plugin for all the
Cameras.
camera options, because their number one OBS studio group are the ones that use it for like just individual streaming with like single camera. But I have a 4-camera Voodoo setup, so I have to have that special plugin to really make it work, or else none of the other cameras are going to work. So I've been noticing ever since I've been updating my NVIDIA drivers, I'm seeing more and more video problems with OBS now. I'm like, oh, so annoying.
Silicone.
So typical.
I don't know you bought that many potions.
Silicone.
That's right.
My potion.
Well, some of those were mine.
Yeah, some of those are his.
Not all.
I think it was 2 and 2. Wasn't it?
You have it marked on your sheets, right?
Yeah, you should have them marked on your sheets.
I had 3 at one point, but that's.
I think you used one.
Well, she-
Well,
No, I
hello
use-
everybody.
we use one
Welcome
on
to
me.
session 23 as we continue this nonsense before the holiday break.
All right.
Are the cameras
My
working
dice.
now?
Oh yeah, I got it all. I just had to reboot everything. Yes, your gelatinous cube of dice within intercubes.
So now I need to get little stickers that are like
Like your starter.
that are like femurs. And
I
like a
am not an
helmet
enabler
and-
when it comes to
and
this
make this a
nonsense.
purple
This is
dot
all
and
her.
Make
This is all her.
sure you put some on the inside too, so it looks like it's inside.
Hey, weren't there cookies involved at some point that were coming and going within transit of the studio?
I didn't see
Preferably, I think I'm going to move for a couple Oreo cookies before we do the conch. Because after we do the conch, we're going to do the recap, and we get to milestone tonight and work on some skill choices. I don't know if ultimate assassination is a skill choice, but Scarlet seems on the path.
I would like to have power over all plants and make them do my bidding.
I call that druidcraft, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like stronger druid craft, as
Like-
in like
Moving around in the yard.
Maybe
make
maybe
some awakened
we'll
beings.
maybe we'll give you organic puppetry.
yeah, like make some.
You know what? You can make salad.
You make a zombie. Salad zombie.
Salad zombie.
Awakened creatures. You know?
Oh, I just thought of something
Like
spooky.
sledgehammer.
What if you could summon a shambling mound? Ooh.
It is an earth
That's way too
elemental.
powerful.
I really think she poops out a shambling mound.
No, I think that's just plain gross.
No, it's the shambling magic user that she assimilated. It just it gets barfed
Shambling
out.
turtle.
Turtle.
Shambling turtle.
She still has part of the
No,
shell.
half
Wow.
magic. It's half or a quarter or a tenth of whatever people that she's assimilated. So it's like this thing,
And
you
they
know,
talk.
Or-
If you
like on
shell.
Family Guy when like
She can
when Miss Piggy has sex
she can
with
make her
Kermit.
own organic
have a baby.
golem.
That's
Every time
candy.
I think
Yeah.
it's the- I
Tries
think
to
it's
cast a spell, it's like 10
What we got in the
success.
transponder didn't live very long.
it's the turtle shell, but then like vines and stuff.
Or like when Miss Piggy and Kermit have a baby.
Yeah, that's
what
it.
babies do.
Just kill me.
It's like,
No, you have to roll. If you roll a 20, it comes out like with extra hit dice. If you roll a 1, it just like slithers around and screams for you to put an end to it. Anything in between, it goes off, no problem.
I think at some point I should be able to create awakened beings because that is a spell that is in existence. So I'm saying.
No,
All right.
no.
Awakened trees,
kidding.
awakened bushes.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We had a few technical difficulties. I am a sitting technical difficulty. I took a nap, so I apologize ahead of time of brain fog that has now settled in, and a very annoying phone that needs to die.
Yes, I'm trained.
I don't need to know how well your pacemaker's doing there, Shiloh. It's all good.
I put up cameras, and now the dog's going in and out of triggering.
So it's constantly alerting you.
yeah.
The
Motion detected. Motion detected.
That's
board.
what I just turned
Like-
mine on too.
You know what I want to do? I want to
Blink,
find
blink,
everybody
blink.
who
Yeah.
has those on their houses, and I want to put on like a Borg outfit just on the shoulders up, and just like lean into the camera, and then touch the camera and have a little LED light start to come out. So we had an interesting session last time, did we not? But before we start, do the round of conching. Rachel, now that I've poisoned you, could you start us off?
Ask your question.
Hey, Rach. You all right?
She don't look all right.
Are you taking notes? Are you writing down each time you ask a question?
Yeah, that'd be a good one. And the response.
Because we decided not to use Callista's, right? Because it's very rude and
Yes.
terse and gives us only one word responses.
It's very pessimistic.
No, hers is more joyful than mine. That was the difference.
Are you going to be a little shit tonight?
No way. Sometimes I question your intelligence.
so it said.
I'm pretty
if
sure
I
that's-
do
Said, no,
it,
I'm
I
not going to be a little
didn't
shit, but I do question your intelligence.
Well, then should we use you for the round of questions?
It's broken. It died.
Dun dun.
The god has
dun.
died. Look at Rachel's
Wait,
face. She's
Did
so
you kill
sullen.
the other conch?
Yes.
I guess it's Eldritch horror.
Is it consciouside? Is that
Do we have a
what's going on?
shoebox and some tissue?
Are you conscious?
We'll bury it. We'll have full honors, military honors for it.
The battery? Is the battery gone? I mean, they have to have an internal battery of some sort.
It does
right?
sound a little more rattly.
Well, you've been fingering the hell out of that nub in there. It probably broke.
I'm gonna
Now she pulled
abstain
his
from
pink bits out.
commentary on that one.
Now she pulled the pink bits out.
You're no fun.
Pink bits out.
Oh, I enjoy.
All right,
listening
then
to
you start us
commentary.
off, Jade. Ask the
Yeah.
conch about
Yeah.
tonight's session.
Oh crap! What's my question?
Will your pet died at this session? Or run away from you for lack of attention?
Piss Jerry off. Do we get more pets like 1,001
Could you
spiders?
quit fingering it? You just asked the question.
Will we find Jerry's body?
No.
Now this thing is like yes or no.
Well,
But it was a.
Wait,
it was a
you can only
depressing
ask
round.
one
I
question.
know.
Who's next?
Oh no.
Morrow, you're next.
Oh, you asked. I didn't realize I was. Will Boney Maroney make a good guard dog?
Who's Boney Maroney?
The horse.
The
Oh,
dog
yeah,
that
You
okay.
want me to say no, so I'll go with yes.
All right, Scarlett, you're up.
Well, I learned some new assassin skills today.
Maybe someday.
Maybe you just make
Okay.
maybe you just make the ones that you have
All
better.
right, Bella.
Bitch, did you kill my conch?
I asked that question.
Your heart is telling you no, but this conch is telling you yes.
Bitch, did you kill my conch?
Ever? I mean,
Willa?
Willa gets to
okay.
go.
Willa.
Okay.
Oh, she's got to think about it. Of
No,
course
no,
she's
no,
gotta think
no.
about
I
it.
have been thinking about it. Should I delve into Eldritch dark Shadowfell powers tonight?
Absolutely not.
Wow.
That was a definite affirmation to your question. Ivar? Or Zephora, you're up.
Zephora.
Let's see.
The conch doesn't
Will I
have
find
any
some
good
human
questions
meat
power.
to consume?
Human meat?
No.
Yes.
Did you hear that terse? No.
No.
That's because we don't got
Isn't
any
he
humans
the
here.
question?
This is like a fricked up Alexa.
I
Alexis or
mean,
whatever it's called.
I'm a tabaxi, so.
Because
That's
I'm
fair.
a tree and she's a elf.
And then we're the half elf and an orc, so none of
Mixer.
our party members are half
Yeah.
orc.
So no human. fun
Will
whatsoever.
this unique party of aggregate souls be able to make a unified decision tonight?
Oh.
No.
Your heart is telling you no, but this conch is telling you yes.
Oh.
Two in the same.
Yeah, and same cycle
Oh,
of checking.
Yeah.
I still- I still can't believe her conch died.
Do you want my conch?
No, I'm just so like somehow one teeny cord, and now she's dead.
My conch killed your conch. I'm sorry.
She dewired it.
Why does that sound like a soft something episode?
My conch crushed your conch.
Okay, I'm picturing SpongeBob.
Yeah. Saluting the hamburger on the ground. Yes, we are a multi-generational group. Eating Oreos.
The other problem is the only way to fix her now is if I had a solder.
My brother has a solder, but I don't know if it works.
Do we have
well.
a solder? We do not have a solder.
Do I have a solder? I thought I have a soldering iron. I might even have solder.
He could probably fix it, honey. Well,
Okay.
the problem is that I don't know if it's in.
But the way you have
I
to
can
make
float you
it,
$5.
the way
and
you
get
have
another
to
one on
fix
Amazon.
it is you have to add some kind of part to it.
Sure it was.
No, I think they were fun.
That's
Like-
what they sold it to you for.
So it looks like it's been, like it's got a life support system.
But
Flashing
she
light
had
on
the
it
most
or something.
wittiest comeback.
Like mount it to a board with like straps,
Here lies.
and then
Are
have
you
the
talking about
battery hooked
strapping
onto
on
the
the conch?
board, and then the wires
Did
coming
you
down.
strap on the conch?
Yeah, strap on for the conch.
All right. So our last session, you guys had actually settled into Vasselheim a bit. The ownership of the home was unfurled. The key, did it work?
She's-
Okay, press
she's-
the button.
Oh, now it's gonna take 3 monkeys to work it. We've gone from 1 monkey to 2. So it's a loose wire, right?
Mhm.
Just spat on it. That fixes everything.
Got some bubble gum?
Okay, so she's not dead yet.
She's on life support.
She's not dead. She's just unconscious.
She's unconscious.
Unconscious.
Unconsciousness. So our last session, you guys had
Okay.
finally settled. Well, actually, the gift from
I like the
Pike
dirty
was
joke
finally
better.
opened. And to be clear, there were some rather nefarious single activities that were going on at the same time until you guys all kind of came together. But we met a couple interesting individuals at your new home in the new neighborhood. Does anyone remember? Where we
Henry and what's his name? The G?
Grumbles
Grumbles.
and Henry the Haunt.
Rubles.
Jesus, why do you even bother
Gribbles?
taking notes if you're not even?
In the
Close.
in the buried ex-wife. Which is-
Yes.
Yeah, riding around on a horse.
No longer buried. Thanks, yours truly.
I want to work him to death for my week.
Yeah,
all I'm
that's
gonna
right.
do.
No.
I'm just
Your-
gonna
Your,
drive
no,
him.
no.
your exploitation of him.
You done that, right? No.
Well, he's been
It wasn't
sitting
me that
around
did
on
it.
our
I
dime
just
for this whole
started
time.
playing with it afterwards.
No, we had Grumbles dig him up.
He's been basically
Did
living
Grumbles
rent
dig him up?
free
Grumbles dug him up.
No, Grumbles didn't.
No, we asked
in a
him to.
palace.
That was part of his tour was to dig up the old
No,
body.
he was
No.
away. He was away delivering a message at the
Yeah,
time.
he was delivering a message. I think I did actually dig up to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might
I
have
just
been
animated
Jade.
it. I didn't dig it
It might have
up
been Jade digging up the ex-wife.
because he said I'd give you something interesting.
Yeah, because I think
Oh,
yeah,
that's
that's
right.
right. That's right. Because Marrow is like the only one like trying to turn his room into a room. He was like, I've got my barrel, I've got my window, I've cleaned everything up, I'm good to go. And when we discovered that Grumbles has been living inside of a lean-to, it actually is an entryway into a failed magical mansion that, or
Still would have charged him rent.
someone's attempt to use it as a permanent anchor, and it did have some weirdness about it, but for the most part
Rent a mansion.
you guys are settled into the Pearl Quarter. You're in the local neighborhood of the, I want to say,
I thought I wrote down how much it was going to take.
Oh,
to fix
you
the-
said we were in the Sunward.
Sunward. Thank you.
Look at that. I took notes.
You did take notes.
Oh, okay, here it is.
So I figure it's probably
15 gold a month to pay for the 6 staff. So if he pays 15 gold a month to stay there, that pays for the 6 staff.
he stayed in a mansion
Yeah.
for years. So 500 gold pieces a month to rent a mansion times how many years he owes us.
But we didn't own it before that. for now.
And you guys are in the Braving Grounds.
The Braving Grounds.
That's where the general area of the city that you're in. And you're in the Sunward neighborhood of the Braving Grounds that are made up mostly of retired adventurers.
Just have to beat 'em every day,
Now,
man.
during that last session, we met Henry the Hunt. We learned a lot about this home. That's kind of like it's a 3-story stone like structure that's very similar to like a keep, like a kind of traditional looking keep. It's just not fancy by any stretch of the imagination. It's about a 2 to 3 acre grounds that you're on.
I have the notes. Scarlet dug her up.
Oh, it was Scarlet.
Yes.
Okay, good to know. And I believe topiary gardens have been manifested by Willa.
Yeah, we got plants gardening plants right now.
So we also decided that last session was a milestone. So now we get to discuss what skills do we think we've earned or learned or want to apply to our characters since the last time we milestone, which was quite a while ago, I think.
Yeah. Do we get to roll dice?
Yes, we will get to roll some hit points. 3d8.
3d8. and
3d8.
four dice out.
That's really bad rolls right there.
Reroll ones.
Okay.
And really bad eggs.
So I rolled a 3, a and a 4.
Easy math. That's 10 hit points.
Plus my constitution, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cost- okay.
Already rolled 1d6
4, 4, 7
for
for
this.
this.
Nice.
And
Plus your con modifier. The hit point pool should be getting bigger.
Yep, I'm at 129.
Woo!
7, 4, 2.
And I think we even skipped a hit point roll last time. I think last time was just a skill.
We got 13.
It was just a skill check last time.
Maybe.
Yeah, we skipped it. I think the last 2.
Yeah, it was the last 2. We
Do I
skipped
get
it.
to roll for Ivory?
Yeah, I think Ivory's in a position where she's maturing and getting bigger, and she's doing well. So you can give her a 3d8 roll as well.
All right.
6 plus 13.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I rolled badly on most of my rolls for my hit points, but I do have a +3 to my constitution, so that bumps it up a little bit.
All right.
So who wants to go first on the skill check? And this could be a relatively major milestone. I mean, there's a lot that went on over the last 3 or 4 sessions that we met in between skill sets. This is actually Zephora's first skill improvement.
Yeah, I kind of made her like I just rolled her up and beyond.
Yeah.
So
That's fine. So based on everything you guys have done since our last milestone, what do
did
you
a lot
think?
of fighting, and I did a lot of messing with my plants. Wasn't really working much on my. Well, I was doing it the steam stuff a little bit, but not as much.
So you add your constitution too?
To the 3d8, yeah. So you roll 3d8 and then add your con modifier.
Ivory
Yeah,
did better
good.
than I did.
Did you re-roll ones?
I rolled a 2. I didn't roll
Do you
one.
think at this
Aw.
point I could have a second attack with extra arms?
I think that'd be an excellent milestone for your character. Yeah. So you're up to the 2 attacks now. Yep, I'm good with that. Marrow, what do you think?
I was working on the 2-weapon fighting.
Okay.
So I'm not familiar.
So,
I haven't read like if there's penalties or anything like that.
Well, I mean, the
you
main
have to.
purpose of why we do this way of leveling up your character, or no, not doing levels, doing this way is that you can describe a skill or an ability improvement or something that you feel that your character has improved upon in the course of the last 3 or 4 sessions that we've met.
And you're
I
not.
haven't really been working on it over the last 3 or 4 sessions, but I kind of know what I'd like to work towards because I currently have the bear totem, and I was thinking about adding feathers to it to go more towards the eagle totem. So
Oh,
improve
interesting.
eyesight. Maybe like a little owl bear.
So you think maybe this is a good milestone for ability, like strength or dex or con to improve an ability overall? It's just kind of like an overall check to your evolution?
I mean, I feel like I'm kind of overpowered as it was just from the way I started out.
Yeah.
I had tremendous rolls to start with.
This
so
is true.
I don't want to.
But he said you can go beyond 20.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
I know, right?
Technically, you can if you can like give it some kind of animus of proof as to why you feel like going beyond 20 is even possible. Keep in mind too, you can always excuse me, you can always improve your dex too.
Yeah.
Right, and your con. Like I feel like either your dex or your con would have gone up because you were in a couple major battles.
Yeah,
and you've been
power.
yeah, and I think
You were beaten up pretty bad during the Boulder incident, is what I call it. Boulder Gate.
Boulder Gate.
Boulders Gate?
Baldur's Gate.
No, Boulders Gate.
Boulder's Gate.
Boulders
So maybe a dex or
Squish.
con improvement. What's your current dex and con score?
Ivor.
Hmm?
It's Boulders Squish.
Boulder Squish Gate.
Boulder Squish.
There was no gate, so. I mean,
But there
Well, of
was a
course not. It
boulder.
was
I think I
smashed.
improved the dexterity by the last milestone.
Okay. So we're gonna take con up
current-
one, maybe.
current would be 19 dex and 19 con.
Yeah, go for it. Right, that's your core evaluation, right? Your strength, con, dex kind of
Yeah.
makes up, and now you can work towards practicing that two-handed or two-weapon ability, or you're
Also,
kind
like,
of becoming more proficient in combat. I mean, you could probably take a second attack now. I kind of feel like that's the kind of common milestone all the fighter classes and martial classes are right now. Just kind of,
Well, that's kind of where I was leaning towards the 2-weapon fighting. So
yeah.
I don't know if that's.
So let's do this. You now get 2 attacks, and as a bonus action, you can make an offhand strike.
Okay.
Does
Right.
he also get his
But because you're
But if you're fighting two-handed, then you kind of negate that. But if you have.
well, no, because you're working towards more of a proficiency towards it.
Okay.
So I'll say what you're working towards is not relying on finesse weapons. So it's like you're carrying like 2 cleavers, 2 short swords, 2 whatever you choose to be carrying.
Okay.
Great
You now
axes.
have the ability to do that. So as a bonus action, after your 2 attacks, you can then take an offhand strike at somebody. And that offhand strike just means you get the attack modifier, but not the damage modifier.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So you don't get your strength modifier added to it,
Just the attack, not the
That's
damage.
just the
Yeah.
damage, right?
Yeah, the damage modifier is just your damage modifier. But because it's an offhand strike, it's a little bit lighter than your like strategic attacks.
Right.
So I feel like you're getting closer and closer to 2-weapon proficiency.
Okay.
And then you get the bonus action offhand strike. I think that's a good milestone for Meryl. Scarlett, what are you thinking? I'm thinking you've been doing a lot of torture and intimidation, and I've become very proficient at taking ears and then asking questions as I talk into their bloody holes.
And it's been bringing up some moral dilemmas.
Yeah.
I can help you with those.
Yeah, these 2 are beginning to worry me.
The fact that I started this journey in a way to try to help people, and then
And you're
and
slipping
now
into old
I'm
habits.
slipping into old habits. In fact, the skills that I wanted to work on was my poisoning skills.
But
Okay.
little did you know, I was also planting poison.
So that's
in
what
the
you want to
garden.
work
Oh,
on. But
great.
over the last few sessions, what do you think you've been getting better at? Like tracking?
I've been getting better at tracking, but I'm also have been losing a bit of my morality. It's like they're coming back to my roots. Made me realize why I started this journey in the first place, and running into my ex-lover
Yeah.
kind of reiterated that.
Yeah. What feels right to me, and the table can decide this, what feels right to me is that I think, do you have advantage on survival checks yet?
How do I figure that out?
It's
Yeah,
got the
is there a
little
dot?
filled in circle.
Survival?
Yeah, survival will have a little filled in spot if you do.
No.
Okay, so I think you should have advantage on survival now.
Okay.
And do you have an advantage on stealth yet?
Yes.
Okay. I think you should have advantage on survival, and you've been practicing your stealth a lot lately.
I have
So
been sneaking out a lot more.
yeah, so I think you can inherit a passive feat called Pass Without a Trace. And as a bonus action, you can identify up to 10 friendly targets. And as long as they're within 30 feet of you, everybody gains
Plus 10.
plus 5. Plus 5. It lasts up to 10 minutes.
How many times can she do that?
Well, I think because it's kind of a minimized version of Pass Without a Trace, I'll say that kind of like Action Surge and some of those other skill sets, up to 3 times per day.
For long rest or for short rest?
Per long rest. She has 3 little empty boxes that she can tick off each time she uses it. And then at the end of a long rest, she can reuse those boxes each time. So we've got Willa sorted, Marrow sorted, Scarlet sorted. Who wants to go next? Got 3 left.
I don't know what I've been doing.
Well, you've been practicing a lot of magic missile attempts and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So that's more
And you
arcane
get it to
stuff,
do a
right?
higher damage die instead of a D4. Maybe it's a D6.
Well, that I don't know. I don't know if we're doing that as a milestone.
You've also
What's
got
that?
the chemical set.
Upping the damage that the magic missile does. I think we're doing that in game as a
Yeah, as a mechanic of learning the spell.
Right.
Right.
So, and then I've been doing with the healing.
I mean, you could gain arcane proficiency.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
So you can have advantage on your arcana checks.
Yeah. And then do I add what we're using as our proficiency bonus to that roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Okay. Bella, Zephora, thoughts?
My road gone very muddy.
I think the thing you've been practicing a lot is your spiritual weapon. I say we continue to improve upon that. What's a good way we can improve upon the spiritual weapon?
It does more damage.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what we did.
Yeah.
Longer range.
Because it's
Ooh.
bigger.
How about the spiritual weapon? Now looks like the dragon as it's intended, right? You want it to look like a dragon.
Because you turned it into a spirit guardian last time, and now it ranges from 40 feet with a 1d8 attack. It also has a breath weapon that can reach 50
That's right.
feet.
We did the breath
Did that
weapon
last
with it.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is a 1d4 with radiant damage twice.
I think it should become like a summoned creature and like sticks around after combat.
Becomes a rainbow dragon where you can decide what breath weapon it has.
Because it's now the official title of it was called Spirit Guardian. It's not a spirit weapon now. It's a guardian.
Can you spell
Right,
that?
right. But she's not in the traditional sense of a spirit guardian spell, but
Right.
it's your.
Guardian.
Spirit guardian.
I actually
familiar.
like that idea that now that it does have a breath weapon feature,
Mhm.
maybe you have the ability to choose the type of breath weapon. That way you
Like
can gain
cold,
advantages over your
acid,
opponents.
fire,
Yeah. So if
Uh,
something's immune
Lightning,
to fire,
cold,
you can use something
acid,
else.
Force.
So
Or
more
it's
towards.
a
telekinetic.
Because let's face it, you know, my spiritualist is like throughout I was going through like the story, and I'm all like, I pretty much just she died.
She means her conch.
Oh, her conch. I'm so
She
sorry.
gestured
about
to
her
the conch, but nobody else saw that.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought like a cleric that has spiritual problems. There we go. I've been leaning more towards because it's like I definitely seem to be having more things with like animal handling. Maybe I've become more proficient towards that. Especially now since we have an army of spiders
Well, that's
that are revolting.
that's your thing.
Can she get the ability to summon them on command, and then she just gets spiders to come and help her in
Be
battle?
like insect plague,
Exactly. There's another spell.
spider plague.
Yeah, you get a new
Spit
spell.
spiders. No.
Plague spiders.
The
Well, keep in
dragons.
mind, every time you milestone any of my spellcasters, you're always free to go and use the
I want
traditional
magic
spell
mansion.
lists. Yeah. And I would say that you've now become not like I'd say you've now learned magic missiles. That can be a regular spell for you to use.
I would
With
love
the
that.
regular damage type stuff.
Yeah.
What is
I
regular
want my
damage?
spells.
Well, what spells do you have now?
I have Goodberry, Plant Growth, Grasping Vine, Tree Stride, and I did the Devour one. And
Right.
We
my
have-
Guardian Tree became an ability rather than a spell.
I feel like you
We
should
have a
learn
spell
Blight by now.
Blight.
Yeah, I feel like you should know Blight.
We have a spell, but I just want to learn spells just because I feel like I should know them. I
Hmm.
want to learn them like that. But we also have a spell book that has Magic Missile, Guiding Bolt as a cantrip. I don't think we can learn it as a cantrip. It was just the magician learned it
Mhm.
and had it as a shortcut to have it as a
Magician.
cantrip.
How
What?
rude.
Wizard, shut up. And then Firebolt, which you won't want to learn. The Truth Seeker, Message, and Scry. So those are we have those in the spell book. That
Ooh, I want to learn Firebolt.
I don't want to learn Firebolt, but could I make it an energy bolt?
You should learn message, and then you could send all of your little.
I already know
events
message.
Well,
and
and
little
remember,
creatures
anybody
out there.
who's arcane, divine, or natural leaning towards their magic can use the in-game mechanics to learn things.
That's
Right.
My brain's all like, I kind of want to learn it because it's like every
I've
time I
been
keep thinking, I'm like,
trying
I'm
to
using
up
fire.
myself.
I'm not using fire.
And that's why we don't use levels of spells, because the more you use the spell, the more frequently that you practice the spell and learn more about making it more powerful, that increases the damage.
Kind of have to make it powerful by using it.
Right. And the only so have we made any changes to the number of spells that you can know as casters?
Yeah.
You're more of a traditional caster. So what's your max right now, number of spells you can know?
In this?
Yeah.
Like you
Per day.
Oh, per day. You just said one. One, each one was one.
5.
You just
Give
gave me
us
blight, so
5.
1, 2, 3,
5 per
4,
day,
5.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, you can use up to 5 spells per day
And then we had,
of any of your spells
and then we had
available.
a
And then you have to
second
relearn them for the next day, correct? Once you,
Yeah.
the main difference is we're not using the multi-slot approach.
I was
You
under
know
the
it and then you
impression that I
lose it
could-
as soon as you
I was
know
under
it.
the impression that I could use my spell once a day. Each of my spells once a day.
Yes, but you can learn this. You can
Or you
prepare
can
the
use
spell
one
twice.
spell 5 times per day.
Okay.
Oh,
so,
see, that's cool.
but yeah, but what doesn't?
Okay, so I
So,
know
with
these
the Spirit
spells and I
Guardian,
know
should
this
I
spell, but I only have 5
Add
slots.
more to it now? Should
So I
reach
took
further,
2
or
as
The
a
breath
slot
weapon?
in large
Yes.
reduce,
What's the range on the breath weapon
And I
now?
took
range
tiny
was
hut out,
at
and then I
15.
learned. I
Yeah, let's
prepared
up it to
2 hero
30,
boots.
right?
Be set.
And let's make it
So
you
I
can choose
know-
the elemental
so
nature
I
of
have
the
those
breath
5
weapon.
slots,
Fire,
but I
lightning,
know these
cold.
spells too.
Because that'll, if
So
anything's
that's-
vulnerable,
I don't
it
have
doubles
them
the
prepared,
damage.
though, so
It doesn't like pop
I
another
can't
head out when you
cast
randomly,
them
is it?
tomorrow.
That's up to
That's
you.
like-
You're free to flavor it any way you want to.
Like, so you know what? Maybe
How do you increase your
So-
spell slots?
Yeah, how do we increase our slots?
See, Ivar, you give her an inch and she's never satisfied
She
with
takes
an
8.
inch. Look at that smile. That smile's a novel. I would say at this point, because you guys have been doing so well at practicing spells, I would say we'll bump that up to 7.
Cool.
So we get 2 more slots?
2 more sleds. 2 more usable
Yeah.
spell opportunities. And the whole idea was to test the idea that in the current D&D 5e, you know, as you level up, they're open slots, meaning you can use them for anything across multiple levels of, you know, interpretation. This is more limiting, so that you have to be a little bit more specific in your daily activities with your spells. But if you choose to use lightning bolt 7 times, you can. But at the end of the day, when all 7 of those,
Lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning
you know, that's gone, right? Those 7. So if you are in a couple combats, you need to be mindful of how you're balancing out your spell use. I kind of feel like that's given a little bit more kind of,
Cherry
you know,
would have been so much more deadly if I
kind
knew
of
that.
more form to spells and make them more challenging and powerful at the same time. Because as you become more proficient in your spell use, you can learn things like, how can I overcharge my spells, right? How can I do surge? Can I tap into wild magic to make my spells more powerful? And those are like in-game mechanics that you can learn.
I would love to have wild magic surges. That would be incredible.
You can. You just gotta learn it.
I think we were talking about that too,
Mhm.
weren't we?
Yeah.
Because I keep eating magic users.
hmm
Yeah.
Well, you ate a magic user. Let's be fair.
No,
Oh, the
turtle.
turtle. That's
Turtle was a
right.
magic user.
You had turtle soup.
Yeah.
You liquefied and
It
absorbed
was,
the turtle.
What's that turtle? They make it in the shell.
Tortellini.
No.
All right. You know what, Carla? D6 inspiration for that one. I don't think I've ever heard anyone call it tortellini before.
Tortellini.
Maybe you could have an NPC named that. He's a
He
turtle.
was an
named-
intern.
Lean.
I'm a turtle. My name is
My name is Tortellini.
My parents were very unimaginative.
He's a skinny turtle, so squirt tortellini. I'm very lean.
That
My
was
name is
the,
Squirtle.
the one time I got food poisoning was from bad tortellini.
Oh.
It like knocked me down for like a day and a half, 2 days.
Oh, I
was
bet.
like,
It's a joke, Mom.
Oh,
You write down D6 inspiration and you can
Yeah,
use
I'm real
it
particular
later.
on
You add it to
that, man.
any roll. So on your
Paper.
sheet, you can write down 1D6, but write it somewhere, not like on a note. Write
Okay.
it
Like I usually write at the top of my page, so I
Yeah.
know I could
like
go. Oh,
here
I
on
can
the
use
top
my
of your
inspiration.
character sheet.
so what's that allow you to do?
So say you're rolling to hit and
So
you
I'm rolling to do this skill,
Right, a
or
skill or
to
to hit or
whatever.
something.
You're
or a
like,
saving
I'm
throw.
going to use this D6 inspiration and add it to my roll.
And not only that,
Ah.
or you can use your inspiration
Did you
to
get more spell
give it to
slots?
another character.
Yes.
So now
Seven.
you have
So they
7
hit.
spell slots. Not including the cantrips,
Right.
just the spell slots.
So
that works.
it's almost
So
like
you can
a
roll a D6
numbers you can just stick anywhere.
and add it to anything. Yeah.
The amount your heal spell heals.
Yeah.
You could.
I just
I
do
would
ability
just
score
make
improvements.
it
Is that all right or no?
It's totally up to you. Do what you want.
All right.
I mean, I know Zephora's only been in session a couple times, so ability score improvement might make sense from
Yeah,
her
I'm just gonna do
standpoint.
that. So then, and she has worked on her charisma a little bit, trying to learn the ways of
Humanity.
the meat creatures.
So, what do you think about Wither and Blue?
Experimenting in the brothel.
Mhm.
What do you think about
Yeah.
Wither and Blue? You think that'd be
If
something
I
I
do
know if I
this,
knew Blight?
it feels good.
Mhm.
Uh,
You got sweet pea fussing?
Yes. Oh, that's something.
Which means I need to make
Look,
another
you
page for
object.
2 more of my skills.
You already have. Well, that's a potion spell you have.
So
No,
it's your
it's-
first week in your new home. You're in Vasselheim. You have a week to accomplish any kind of tasks, concepts, searching through the city, shopping, for you to do them together or individually. The idea
Spies.
is that time has passed. Things are changing in the home. Do we have an idea of what you want to call home? And keep in mind, Castle Grayskull's already been taken.
In this world?
Mm-hmm. Actually, it has, because that was the name of the castle in Vox Machina.
You can call the house whatever you want, but I'm going to call the garden Grove.
All right, let's show
Stone
the house.
Grove.
The Grove.
The Grove.
Stone
Call it
Grove.
the Grove?
Stone Grove.
The
Stone Grove.
The Stone Grove.
Okay. So as you guys settle into Stone Grove, you're learning to make it your own. Willa has spent a great deal of time recovering the gardens and getting it to look nice. You now have a staff. You have a staff of individuals. And let's talk about this staff that you have. Ooh, I like theirs better. I don't like that.
I wrote the victims' names. I mean, the staff's names down.
And these were ones that were sent over to us from
No,
that we
they
hired.
were more like leads. We got leads from the Sarenrae Temple.
They're called like a ready-made place, and they sent them down.
Well, no, Grebels went and delivered the message,
Mhm.
and then contractors, tinkerers, construction folk came to work on the property, and then provide a staff as everybody began to settle in to the Stone Grove. So, you currently have a captain who is responsible for safety and security of the Stone Grove. His name is Ernest Solvenstein, and he is a retired Crownsguard captain.
Ernest what?
Ernest Solvenstein.
Solvenstein.
Yeah, dead on.
Oh, nice.
Does he know me?
Doesn't seem to, no.
Retired Crown Guard.
You then, of course, you have a gnome's groundskeeper who will work with Gribbles in maintaining the general upkeep of Stone Grove. He goes by the name of Kellen Rofferton,
What's his job again?
groundskeeper.
What's the last name again?
Rofferton,
Rofferton.
Rofferton. Keller Rofferton.
Erton.
Rofferton. Then you have a chef who's in charge of the larder, the kitchen, and keeping everything stocked and keeping everybody fed. And that is a female elf that goes by the name of Daraste, Daraste, Eresis. Daraste Eresis.
Drast.
Daraste. Daraste Eristus. Eresis. Ariessus.
Is she half human? Or
She is full elf.
full up?
Yep.
She said she was.
And she comes as a personal recommendation of one of the prefects of the Saren Ray. She is known to be a friend to Pike as well. And that's why she
She
volunteered.
good looking.
Sure.
Okay, there you go.
Whatever your point of view is.
And Ernest, is he like an old dude or something?
He's like middle-aged, 50s. Just, he's
So
seen his,
extremely old age.
he's seen his fair share of campaigns and battles, and
What's
He was-
Ernest? Human?
Ernest is human.
Human.
Okay, and that's it. And then we got Grumbles.
And you currently have a staff of about 6 individuals on call to do whatever.
Outside of these three?
Outside of these,
Yeah, outside of these 3. So that I would refer to
6
them as common
servants.
staff. People that, keep the place clean, work with grumbles, and work with the gnome, Rofferton,
Extra hands.
or they work as extra kitchen staff, or they run errands for the home and stuff like that. It's just like a traditional kind of Downton Abbey staff.
I'm going
For
to
the most
ask
part.
Henry if he's going to show himself to the staff or if he's going to hide.
I don't know. I'm not used to this many people being around, but I'll think about it. So far, he's decided not to.
Okay.
Don't want to scare him away.
Well, you
Fine.
might want to scare them away. Just let me know if I have to prepare
Exercise this
them for.
process as soon as we get a chance.
He has his upper.
He
room.
mostly stays in the laboratory.
Mhm.
The question is, do you want to make the laboratory part of the cleanup and remodel?
No.
So it's going to stay as is.
Yeah.
Unless
Okay.
he wants something done to it.
No, he doesn't want anyone.
No, he
anything
didn't
done
want
to it. He
anyone.
doesn't want anyone up there.
He
Yeah.
might change his mind later, is what I'm saying.
Maybe.
If he
Right,
wants
but
something
I'll
done-
ask him.
Mhm.
I took that room so I can,
Practice.
keep everyone out.
Partial discovery was made. It does have a basement that was filled in.
Oh.
And so I'll say at some point you have a staff meeting and
To excavate the
to
basement.
excavate the basement.
Yay, we're going to find a tome of infinite destruction.
Okay, I've been in his games before, guys. I mean, we could do this, but we might end the world.
Fuck you.
That basement was sealed for a
Oh my
reason.
God.
The basement was sealed for
No
a
more
reason.
pillow talk. Those pillows gonna be used for smothering.
What pillow talk?
We can always ask Henry. He would know. He's been here the whole time.
Exactly.
Wait.
He's the one who built it.
This is
Mhm.
perfect opportunity. Ask the conch.
Right?
Should we go into
Should we excavate the basement?
Yes.
the...
That's very terse.
What was that?
That was a very terse yes.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
emphatic.
What if she's in there?
Are you in the basement?
No.
Very terse no.
I don't believe her. I think my conscience is lying.
One
Oscar's
evening,
flying.
you end up in the lab to have a conversation with Henry.
Mhm.
And you bring up the fact that one of the groundskeepers have discovered a basement access.
Okay.
Was taking the spiders go?
Well,
You would have
it was an old
access
wine
to it.
cellar. I just didn't want to.
She got that for me for my birthday.
I was who got that? Oh yeah, that's right. I just didn't feel like the wine cellar should be kept any longer, so we just got rid of it.
Seems like, it's,
Inside check?
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah.
seems like it's more work to fill a thing in than just to leave it alone.
Well,
Right?
Well, maybe
I need to get more
his
beads.
wife was drunk or something.
We got tons
Which one, the second, the first, or
15.
feels like a failed attachment, but you're not sure what. Whether it's related to an ex or some other family member, you're not really sure. But it feels like a failure that he just filled in.
okay.
So he's not saying no. He's just showing a sense of lack of interest and purposely not wanting to discuss it that much.
You won't be upset if we do excavate it?
Do whatever you want. It's your home now.
Okay.
What a nice ghost.
I think it might be time to send in the spiders.
Sounded
Okay.
like your poor flower when she just burst through the
Um,
door.
I am going to ask Henry if I keep wanting to call him crabgrass.
Henry Crabgrass. Henry the Haunt.
Henry the Haunt. I know, but I keep wanting to call him Henry Crabgrass. I'm going to ask Henry if he'd be okay if I set up the alchemy lab up here to work on my.
Oh yeah, I'd really enjoy that. I could work with you, teach you things.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are we all with her, Oreo? Or
We're having a meeting.
Yeah, this is just a week dilation of time, things
Yep.
going by.
Okay, so then later we have so I do set up, I bring a table up, but
Okay.
all of the alchemy stuff.
Okay. So you're in the process of setting up the alchemy lab. Okay.
During all of that. And then, why do we have so many spiders?
Oh no.
I like spiders. I bring in a
confused.
lot of
I've
spiders.
actually noticed there's a weird trend lately. There's been a lot of spiders in shops and stuff that people are like selling. It's like
Well,
really
it's-
weird. No,
Okay.
it
We
just
just
happened.
finished with October.
It was before
Give me
October.
2 insight
I
checks
noticed it when I
and
got
2
that.
persuasion checks, please.
I want to ask Henry, does he know? Because since he has, do I know about the laboratory? Did you tell us all about it? Or
I think everyone knows
Yeah.
about the lab. Yeah.
Do you know anything about how to make health potions?
Well, yeah, I've dabbled. I can certainly show you how it works.
Do you have any notes anywhere around the laboratory?
Maybe. Yeah, I might. You know, when you become a ghost, sometimes your memory's not so good. But I'll look around, see what I can find.
Funny how much gets meat lost in the meat and stuff.
Since she's using the laboratory anyway, so I was like, let's make it into a health potion room.
Well, that's what I was making it into.
Oh.
Because that's the stuff that I had. For health potions.
I have lots of spiders now.
What'd you get?
Crappy on the inside.
Okay. What'd you get for the persuasion?
I didn't do real persuasion yet.
Oh my God. All the
Persuasion, I did.
spiders.
I have more spiders here too. I have one down.
I don't doubt it. Creepy.
Jesus.
When I thought dragons were my thing, now it's spiders.
That sucks. Well, I got a 16 and then I got 3.
Okay. Good to know. Good numbers.
Especially since she knows I have severe arachnophobia when it comes to tarantulas.
I know, right?
Oh, geez.
Ernest
Jason,
spends a
you
great
won't
deal
let
of
me
time
have a
with you
tarantula in
sparring.
the RV.
Okay.
And the two of you kind of,
No.
you
I
know,
was thinking of maybe like burying a
Neighbors,
timber,
top
on the
trees.
side of the barn just to practice striking and stuff.
do like a pell and create like this training area.
Is it like a red meat? Or...
We'll say that as you and Ernest are getting to know each other more and more.
Brown tarantula.
Give me an insight check on him really quick.
Oh, natural 20.
Nice.
So +3.
So you get the feeling that he may have left the Vasselheim guard, he more particularly he was a Bahamut guard for the Silver District, and he's not a real fan of the way the Don Marshals have been reforming the barracks and the way the different military activities take place. So the two of you kind of bond over that. You're kind of frontier style living as a mercenary versus his more formal military style. So I would say you and Ernest are growing, like a growing friendship, and you spar every morning and you talk about Vasselheim. I would say you've begun to learn, and you now have a basic knowledge of the way the barracks between the different Don Marshal segments work. And knowing him is going to give you more access to it. And he's even recommending maybe hiring 5 or 6 retired, soldiers as a means to guard and protect the Stone Grove as well. So we'll say you foster a relationship with Ernest at this point.
What are we protecting the Stone Grove from?
People who want to touch our stuff.
Ne'er-do-wells.
I mean, it's a big complex.
We're
It's a
attracting
3-acre
attention.
complex, a 3-story structure that takes up a huge
Oh, I didn't
area
know
of the
3
Braving
acres.
Grounds
Mhm.
within the Sunward neighborhood. This
Well,
is
We don't want
considered,
any squatters.
this
If
is
you're going to have guard duty, you have to have shifts. So
That's right.
It requires multiple.
Right. Last time you said it was 1.5 acres. Is it 1.5 acres or 3 acres?
it's 3.5 acres. That was my mistake.
3.5 acres.
Yes.
Okay.
God,
Okay, when he
wonder
gives
why
us
there's so many
extra,
spiders.
don't.
And it is a walled
I'm just verifying.
compound with a gate at the walled
Only
compound
verify if he
entry.
gives you less than. we
And then
think he
obviously
had.
the 3-story
Okay.
structure, which
Okay.
I'll have a more prolific map
If he says 1
available
acre and he
next
says
time we
10
meet.
acres, you go,
So
okay, yeah. And
it'll
not
get
10
handed
acre down.
over.
If he says 1 acre when it's
I
supposed
would
to be
like
10
to
acres, then
explore
you.
the ground
okay.
just for checking for weak points
Looking
and for looking for
Extra bodies to dig up.
Yeah, right. Or places to bury bodies.
Or places to bury bodies.
3 acres. We got plenty of places.
Yeah. Well,
Now we need
try out
to
your new
pick.
skill for me. Give me a survival check. You have advantage, so roll twice and take the higher of the 2 rolls.
$19.
Got a modifier for it?
Skill check, right?
Which one?
Survival.
Down at bottom.
Actually, I don't have any survival. Oh, wait, I have 1 now. I have 1
A +1.
plus 1.
Okay, so
Wait,
dirty,
What do
filthy
you take
20.
as your proficiency? Which skill?
Yeah,
do
we don't
you
call it
do
dirty
best
20
in?
anymore. In a
Because
couple
you
of
Oh,
my
have
groups,
to
they
add
call
that to
it
it.
filthy 20.
Filthy tool.
Which one are you using as your proficiency? What's are
Acrobatics.
you more dex or are you more
She's dex based.
She's dex based.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a higher acrobatics.
Not
Oh.
That's still dex
Oh,
based.
okay, dexterity, yeah. 6.
out of your your dex is +6.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Christ.
which number was I looking at?
So do
You're
we,
looking at your
Oh,
do we
right
have
now.
people repairing
So
anything?
take
You've got
the survival.
You've got a very busy compound right now. This is a week of a lot of activity that you
No,
guys
you're
are
not,
just.
Can I help
proficient in
work
survival?
with the
No.
builders?
He said
So
you're
they're not
proficient in
using
survival
dead
now,
wood,
right?
but
Yeah.
living
Yeah, so
things
you
that are
know,
actually
fill in the
stronger and
circle.
helping
So we're gonna fill in that circle.
keep it.
I mean,
That way you know you have an advantage when you.
I'd
Oh,
say,
okay.
you
Survival,
know, you
right?
don't want to scare too many of them off either.
And you're
Be
gonna
nice.
It's not about being nice.
As
I
I
mean,
loom over them and they're
But you're gonna
harvesting the dead.
the one that we're using.
I would say you could use your treant form to help lift and kind of like do some of the basic physical work. There's no real opportunity for living plants to make a difference in what they're working on, right? They're building furniture.
I know.
They're
Like I did with the garden.
yeah, but they're not really into that. But they can appreciate your heavy lifting as a treant
Yeah.
You already have
because it's a lot
already
easier
have-
for you to
already
lift
have
things up, put them
expertise
in through the windows, and make it easier for them to access all the.
No accidental.
But you know, they're building outdoor frames, and you know, they're doing just a lot to bring, you know, the house up into a condition of being lived in at this point. And don't forget, each of you are free to design your own rooms, however you choose to. With that survival check, in the northwest corner of the compound, you do discover a secret wall that allows you to sneak out of the compound. It is covered in ivy, old trellis worked vines, and you discover that whoever made this, whether it was Henry or not, but somebody added this feature, and there is a slipstone in the foundation of the wall that if you slide it to the right, it causes the wall to counterbalance and then slide, kind of pivot open 2 feet so you can sneak out and then close the wall behind you. Whether you decide to share that with anyone, I leave that up to you.
I'm gonna keep that one to myself.
Okay. Fair enough.
Rude.
So, what kind of native plants are on this 3.5 acres?
Mostly Arctic style plants, right? Because you're still very much in the far north. And as we're, end of spring and approaching the beginning of summer for Vasselheim,
Any
you're having
ice
like a
flowers?
very Alaska summer, right? So,
Any ice flowers?
sure.
I'm
The
gonna
small yellow flower that only grows for 2 weeks in the fall.
Yeah. Well, that wouldn't be here yet because it's not fall. But I'll say you can begin to cultivate plants here. Right.
But
So if you need
we
components
get
and
that we-
things for anything that you
Well,
make
yeah, maybe
things,
You can find the bulb to plant the bulb so that it'll.
yeah,
Blue
you can
rubber
go to the
ball.
markets and try to find
We
the
get
starter
ice flower,
plants to start
ice flower,
cultivating an
Ginseng
alchemist garden if you want to. Yeah.
Could I encourage a plant to grow out of season?
You could try to, but it'll probably just die.
It'll end up like your little minions.
It's like encouraging a toddler to cross a freeway. Just putting that out there.
I mean, I don't think they're the same.
There's just certain natural environments that don't work.
You can do it.
Unless we build a greenhouse.
Yeah, that's
Or a
true. I
frozen
mean, there are
house.
ways to do cultivation. You can
We could-
decide that,
We could build you a
if
greenhouse.
you want to become a botanist, right? You
I
can cultivate,
practically am the.
there are
Would it be
different.
considered a biologist in my opinion?
Well, biologist is not a botanist.
Yes, I know, but I am a true plant. Therefore,
That doesn't mean you're proficient in human anatomy.
No, it's like it's my biology.
Proficient in eating humans.
So that's fair. Yeah.
Like,
Plant
I,
biology.
it's my
There's
biology. Is
one
what
way
I'm
to
saying.
learn anatomy.
Eating it.
Eating it.
I understand her weird thinking.
Yeah,
I don't want to explain it.
botanist. Being a botanist for a tree person is like being a biologist.
Maybe. One way of looking at it, isn't it? You definitely had an interesting conversation with Oakleaf.
Yeah.
So we're building
Always that
glass
you gotta deal with,
houses
too.
Yeah,
What else?
I'm definitely meditating on that in the evenings.
I happened to walk by one day and see her staring at her branches, trying to see if she has a thumb.
Seeing if it actually turns into like a shadow wraith or something.
So my Dwelf, what do you think you want to work on for a week? What do you think you want to try to accomplish during this week of time dilation?
Want to work on my knowledge more. Like, I probably want to go to a library and actually look up about the areas that we were going to.
Okay.
Because since dungeons are kind of my thing, might as well be prepped or ready for it because we are going to be going on a trip.
Absolutely. Give me investigation.
You said we got investigation?
Mhm.
I do have 21?
Nice.
19, 20, 20.
You know what? Why did that come up and then go away? There it is. With that roll, one of the things that has come up is that the conversation that was had with Pike in regards to the retrieving of something that was left behind in the Rhymefang ruins, which is said to be a lair of a very ancient white dragon that goes by the name of Rhymefang, but they haven't been seen in a very long time, and it's believed after it was defeated by Vox Machina that maybe it had settled into a different continent or a different place, and it no longer ranges in that area. But Rhymefang Rune is its traditional lair. It is described as a massive ice wall of about 1/4 mile in length and height. And it sits in the interior of a cavern entrance on a very tall tall peak,
Big boulders
which
up
would
there.
be if you're in.
Yes, as a dwarf, you have the stone power to control stones and make them fall from a distance.
Yep. Totally.
Try. What are the? You have your map. What's the northern mountains called again? So I don't have to find it.
Was it the Hedrick? No.
No, that was the Hedrick Fort. That was what's
Zenwick Mountains?
the Zenwick Mountains. Okay, I was right.
And I do have a map of the 50-year map of the Rimfang Forest.
Yeah, the Rimfang. You actually have a map of the region of Rimfang,
Yes.
the forested area and the Zenwick Mountain area, and that map would probably help get you guys there as part of your journey there. What you're discovering is that Rimfang is a very old place in the Zenwick, but it's also a part of an interconnected kind of community of frost giants as well. At some point, it's believed that Rimfang was worshipped by frost giants, and the way that they built up their great horde and their great lair that now lies frozen in that ice wall as a way to protect it. No one's ever been able to get into the ice wall.
Can I look for a book on how to speak giant?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me another investigation check as you start to look around for a Jotun language book.
That would have been the
I'm just going
skill
to go
to
with
try
the
and
18
develop
plus
as a
2,
research
20.
skill.
What'd you get?
I'm just going to go with this one. 18 plus 2, 20.
20, filthy 20. You find at least 2 books on the language. And I'd say for the next week, as long as you're practicing before you settle in each night, by the end of the week, you'll know the language, you'll know giant speech.
Ooh, look at you.
Got spider and I got giant.
I'm
now
not okay with the
you
whole
just
spider thing.
combine the two. Oh,
Giant spider.
I was thinking
Why do I
spider.
have Callista's backside?
Sorry, I'm nursing.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what you were doing.
Poo-poo, I will
I'm
not
like,
go
normally I love your backside, but this is not an appropriate time for
Sorry. I gotta keep the chest off of stream.
it.
Because as we learned before, maybe learning giant would have been a good thing. Maybe that turtle wasn't trying to
So
kill us all.
between Scarlett's knowledge of the map that you learned about the area, the Zenwick, the valley, what's sometimes called Rimfang's Valley, and Rimfang's glacial valley, is typical of a region where lots of people give it names, but the predominant tribal activity in that area of the Zenwick is frost giant activity, as well as Yeti activity.
Yeti.
Now, there are dwarves that exist up in the Zenwick, lesser kingdoms or lesser underground groups of dwarves. Nothing gnome specific. They don't really venture out of their area. And I would also probably say that north of the Zenwick, let me go into the regions. So you've got the Zenwick Mountain Range, which is northeast of Vasselheim and northeast of the Vesper Timland. Once you get beyond the Hedrick, the new Hedrick Fort system, which keeps the Thorian tundra separate and isolated, there are vast rumors of barbarian and Goliath tribes that exist within the Thorian tundra. And this area is very much purposely isolated away from the Othanzia kingdom, as it's an area 2-3 times bigger than the Othanzia kingdom. And they just have never had the ability to explore it or understand what's up there.
Oh, from like doing studying and practicing, could there be a possible incident that happened during that week is what gives my little spirit guardian like a different element? Like maybe I drop a match and it eats it and it starts spewing fire.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, it's a good idea. Like during your pre-long rest period, you're reading up on the giant language, and you're also like keeping your focus on your new spirit guardian that keeps around. And you went over to light a lantern for an evening read, and you drop it by mistake, the light, and he picks it up and starts burping fire breath.
I had a thought about that too. It's all like because I don't know if the whole thing could change, or it's like what if just a little tiny like every element should I start experimenting with it, like a little lump starts to grow on each, like little bits of it.
Yeah.
Like a scale?
No, just a lump for right now.
It's cancerous. I'm sorry.
Are you going to call him Lumpy?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, all this lore that I'm learning, of course, I would think of all like, oh no, breeze fire. Little lump starts to grow inside.
Zephora,
Yes.
one of the staff is a tabaxi,
Oh,
and she goes by the name of Lone Fang,
uh-huh.
Oh, that sounds fun.
and she's kind of become your ears.
Okay.
If there's anything I can find for you, I'll keep an eye on the staff for you. If there are networks of individuals or peoples that you'd like for me to find out in Greater Vasselheim or other regions of the Othanzians, I can do this for you. I just require compensation for my efforts.
Very well.
Is this a manageable relationship? She kind of. What shall we set the price at then?
Sorry.
Oh. What's your price?
I was thinking 10 gold for discovery. If that discovery proves fruitful, there are costs involved of gathering that information. Shall we say 25 gold for bribes, 50 gold a week. And you have ears, eyes, and a way of knowing things that others will not know.
That sounds.
Politics in this city can be very profitable.
Yeah, so I'd like to get some good blackmail information on people that are
Extortion.
high up in.
Little B&E, extortion, and yes, I like the idea.
All right. Very well.
She
Do
kind
you want a mine?
no, this is someone that she's recruited out of the staff that only she knows about at this point.
So what's happened to Grumbles in all this?
We're spending a week dilation. I mean, it's just a flurry of activity that's going on. Grumbles and Rafferton are the groundskeepers. They're required to make sure that everything is kept up as expected. Ernest is in the process of, beginning to recruit people that can be, brought on as protectorants. Devaste, she's your chef, responsible for food, larder, and making sure that meals are prepped and handled and managed as expected. Did I give you your upkeep cost?
Yes, 15 gold.
Right now it's 15 gold, but that was before
Hiring
How
the
many-
staff.
No, that was after
that was the
hiring the
staff.
staff.
Well, no, that was
you
the
said staff of 6 people to stay 15 gold a month.
yes. Okay, that's correct.
Then you added people.
Yeah.
So
Well, no, this is part of your staff of 6.
okay.
So right now you have
And then-
4 known staff members,
Okay.
right? The other 2 are part of the other 4. So there's 6 just regular hands to be used for either in the kitchens, upkeep, maintaining the property, right? Those are those 6. And then you have 4 named staff folks, right? You have your chef, the 2 groundskeepers, and Ernest.
And
then
whoever Long
Ernest,
is.
Ernest is
Who?
Root.
Lone Fang.
That you have no idea who she is.
No, I don't, but she does.
That's Sephora's thing, yeah.
Okay.
And then how many people was he recruiting? Ernest.
Ernest was going to attempt to recruit anywhere from 4 to 6
4 to 6.
potential individuals to be used as guards if needed. So I would say your entire staff budget per month has gone from 15 gold per month up to 45 gold per month.
Oh, shit.
You need to get working.
Yeah. Considering I have no gold. It's very
Now-
The excavation of the basement will proceed.
Would the chef be housekeeper. Who would be the housekeeper?
She could fulfill that role as well. Just the
Because-
general upkeep of the
Because there would
internal of
be-
the home.
There would be someone that we would leave the money with to. I mean,
Oh, that's separate. That's that's
So we need to hire
a foot person or
What's it called? It's the house. It's
The
the.
butler.
the housekeeper.
No,
Butler,
it's not.
the-
well, in the vernacular of the
Shout
D&D
out,
fantasy
mates.
world, you can call it whatever the fuck you want.
Okay, we're calling.
Shout out, Mapes.
We will call it the
Concierge.
Kaya,
Concierge.
the Blue Wizard.
This is the Blue Wizard.
I am the wizard known as Tim.
Servant. How about servant? They're all
I
servants. so
love that
servant.
story.
No. I mean, we need
That's a Zephora reference, if you
The
ask me.
buttle?
But
butler. We need someone to buttle.
I mean,
Someone to buttle?
I
we
mean,
need someone to buttle.
a foot person
Foot
is,
person.
is common.
Footman.
Footman?
Well,
No.
foot person because it could be female or male.
But a footman, though, a footman has a very specific thing. He does his carriages and stuff.
Mhm.
Fair.
It's butlers, it's maids,
But there's like
Scullery maids did it
scullery
in the
maid,
studio
they-
with a
they
candlestick.
wash dishes.
The housekeeper is normally in charge of accounts.
Yeah,
Right.
that was my
And the other maids and everybody.
Yeah.
They
Right.
take care of all that.
like, or
The
she,
butler's
or
in
he.
charge of like the footmen and
it's like
and that
it's
kind of
the,
stuff.
it's the main housekeeper.
I mean, you could make her the head of the staff.
Believe
The chef,
head of
Yeah, you
staff.
could make the chef the head of staff.
and that's who I mean, known friend of Pike.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure that would.
She's
be,
Elven.
Yeah.
Female
Probably
elf.
Be, a while
That's
for,
right.
be there for a while.
She knows Vasselheim really well, and she's trusted by the prefecture of the Sarenrae. So
Right.
She's
So that's
she's
who
Pike's
I would
spy.
pick to be, the head of the household.
well, I appreciate that. So you'll require me to handle payments and keep an eye on everybody as well.
If that's okay with you.
That should be fine. I could use my own quarters then. I think that requires that I remain on staff 24/7,
Yeah.
as well as
We have
Keller
do we have
and
room for that?
Ernesto
Yes.
as well. You have 11 rooms upstairs.
We need
And I'm not going to be.
We
in
need
one of
jobs
them
because we're gonna have to pay for all this shit.
Well, and usually in the downstairs quarters, there's usually a housekeeper.
Yeah, you're downstairs, right? So on the kitchen, you'd have chef quarters. I would say you can build an external quarters for Ernesto out by the stablery, as so he can develop a barracks at
Kind of
some
like a
point if he
guardhouse.
chooses to, or a guardhouse.
My room is the.
I would say, I would say Keller or Kellen and Grumbles will stay in the shack
Mhm.
because that's an unending mansion at this point. And he's
might
already
understand
familiar
that
with it.
No, the shack. No.
No.
I'm in the room. I'm in the room in the corner. Hold on, I picked it.
That leads up to the lab.
Sixth room on the far left.
Yeah.
On the yeah.
Sorry, there's 12 rooms upstairs.
12
6 on the
rooms.
right, 6 on the left.
Okay.
You took the front right room, I think, that overlooks the grounds down below, right? Yeah.
The front of the ground.
Do
Okay.
you want me to put that in here? So you're in.
And I know this may not seem overly important now, but I think as you guys progress through the world, having an anchor in a home just kind of lends to the open nature of the campaign and the idea that you have a starting point and a finishing point,
Mhm.
right?
As a tree, it's good to have a place to.
Oh, you
She
just
really
need a
likes
fucking
having
garden.
roots.
Thank you for finishing my sentence.
Plus, I like this part about D&D. You know, a lot of people don't take the time to do that, but I like it. It's kind of fun because it
Mm.
gives you a sense of identity and a
We're not
sense
going to be
of.
wandering murderers.
And if I can.
Well,
find
I think you and
if I can
Scarlett are
find
always
the,
going to be wandering murderers.
No
word
doubt.
of recall spell or something, then we can, use that.
When it finally happens, I think it's going to be easier.
One of the cleric's abilities is that it's
At some point when you guys are having an evening meal, did I?
Travel between trees. Yeah. I thought it's a druid.
Keller
Yeah.
Rafferton would have
That's-
come in at
that's what
some
I,
point during one of your
working
evening
towards.
meals, the little male gnome.
Already,
So I
Just
got
wanna
a
get
crew
the-
ready to go. You
don't
want
have
us to
a reason
excavate
to
that
go
basement?
really far, so
Out of
it's not-
character, have we already talked about how much it's going to cost?
We're looking.
Doing it in
We're looking at maybe around, 3-4 days of excavation, equipment, material, everything we need to shore it up and get it back to function. Probably around 100 gold to get it done.
Okay.
If we just use
2 gold? No, 100. 100.
Okay.
Look, you're big and scary, and you can tell me that all you want, but it's physics, man. Physics of economy. 100 gold to get it done. That includes shoring it up and making it safe to use. And
Yeah, please don't make.
What do you want us to do about all those spiders we keep finding? Are we okay to kill them?
No,
They're extra guards.
just tell them to leave.
They're extra
Oh,
guards.
you can talk to them.
Maybe.
Oh,
Make themselves
Okay.
scarce.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna say,
That's
Bella,
Is this a
get all the
joke?
spiders out of
Are
there.
you
you're
joking?
yelling over her head. She's at the dinner table.
Oh,
I didn't see you there. You were so short. Sorry.
Bella, get all the spiders.
Wait,
out of
12s are not short.
I know. I know.
They're spiders. Just kill them.
Okay, I just
Don't-
want to know.
don't kill the spiders.
No, yes. You know what? I'll tell you this
I'm
much.
gonna
The
tell
first
her
one
to
that bites
make
one of my
them
people, it's, we're setting out little traps and we get rid of them. But there's a lot of them down there. A lot of them.
Yeah, Bella, make your spiders go away.
They used to stay in my room. That's why it's covered in cobwebs.
Well, tell them to go back to your room.
She comes out like Elvira through the webs.
Well, just
They're
say
making her clothing.
tell them they can hang out in the
Where are
shack
they
mansion.
coming from?
Just kind of everywhere. It's strange.
I mean, why couldn't it be follow the butterflies?
Henry.
I know that's reference.
It floats out of the floor. Ah! No, I'm just like, you know what?
I'm sorry.
Could we keep that under control too?
Henry's usually up in.
Yeah, but he's been kind of anxious around us, but we've been kind of like working in the basement. So look, I leave it up to you. You've got the price. I'll put the crew together. We'll have it done in a few days. Good?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Yes.
And his little gnome legs take him out of there. Yeah, Sephora, what do you want?
Why are there spiders all over?
I don't know.
Why do I think you're not telling me?
What are you gonna do? Punch me?
No.
Their mind.
I don't know. This place has a spider problem.
I mean,
it was abandoned for years.
okay, everyone, it's 16 gold and 6 silver to
A person.
a person to excavate the.
Well,
I
we're
don't
starting to
have
do
any
that
money.
now.
It's okay.
You're like all at the dinner table, like doing all the
What if
like.
I don't want it excavated? So I don't have to pay? If I don't pay, then I don't get to use it. And
Well,
on and
fair
on.
point. And on and on and
When
on.
you find the
treasure,
buried-
if there's any buried treasure in there, you also don't get to
Partake.
partake of that.
The buried treasure of Atlantis is
All right,
nice.
Jess. I'll go along to make everyone happy. I need a job.
Have we had a
Finished
chance?
huge job.
Have any of us
What?
had a chance to
You
explore?
guys have a lot of money right now.
I don't have any
so we
money.
had-
Yeah,
we-
it's
it
a-
was
They
two-
do.
Sephora is
It was
not-
2,000,
Okay, Sephora, I got you.
2,940 pieces of gold each.
Mhm.
We just hired before kind of.
I need. They got all kinds of money. I have none.
I know.
I was I was a
No,
Somebody
barmaid.
gave
Money
you a
for
whole
charity.
bag of gold to get rid of you.
I was a barmaid. Okay.
A scullery barmaid
Yeah.
at
I
that.
gave him
Sorry, 16 pieces?
16 gold,
So I
6
need a-
silver.
Job to do to make some
I was going to
cash.
give you 17
Does
pieces.
So-
that mean?
Well,
Okay, 17 pieces of gold. Yeah.
Does that mean Sephora wants to be part of our staff? For our house?
No, she's not part of the staff.
Oh, I could run this. I could run the staff.
Well, it's like, Sephora, you seem good at it. Could you go get us tankards of ale? Oh, by the way, my bed sheets need to be turned down.
Oh
Could
no,
you?
no!
Oh,
I'll
wait,
just
I
run
live
the
in the garden.
household.
Never mind.
I'll just run the household.
You'd steal all of her money.
No, I wouldn't.
She would be very
Not
good
at
at whipping
first.
them into.
Not much that you'd notice. No.
We call that skimming.
Yes.
Keep her in line.
Yes, I can run the staff. I'll tell you what. If I can run the staff here,
No,
you
no,
could
no, not
lick
that
the floors
well.
when I'm done with them.
No,
Oh,
it's okay.
no. Never have staff that would run away from
We
you.
don't want
They're so scary.
you to keep the staff because we want you to come with us.
Is Sephora good at fighting?
I don't know.
We don't know yet.
She's good at distracting people. She just
I'm
has to-
surprised because you usually want to fight the first person you meet when you meet them.
I have a lot
she
of
seems
pieces of
skinny,
flair
though.
on my
She doesn't
armor.
look like she's someone who you would fight. She doesn't have a sword on her. She was working as a barmaid.
She's just got big boobs.
Yeah, it's like that. Like
I don't even have big boobs.
Yeah, you do.
I'm part of the itty bitty titty committee.
Our minds.
I'm not only a member, I'm also the president.
Okay. So
Boy, are we
No,
reaching
she's
into
very
our cultural
She's very
haversack on
wiry.
that
She's
one.
not voluptuous at all. She's more like a wiry.
I want
Yeah,
to.
like
woman.
she doesn't look like a challenger, like someone I would want to fight because she was a barmaid, and I was like, you don't fight the barmaids. I've learned some social decorum. You don't challenge the barmaid.
Willa is the most non-functional social creature in the
she
world.
learns a little bit.
I want to. I want to go.
She learns how to digest people.
I want to go looking for spells.
And I get some of their memories.
I love it when I'm
sometimes.
not the worst one in the party.
I want to go looking for spells to learn.
Okay. You want to head over to one of the many. Well, you could head over to the Cobalt Soul Vault. They have a pretty decent academy when it comes to the arcane.
Sure.
They're the only place you can find it because, unfortunately, in Vasselheim, arcane is not trusted, so it's not offered up as a supported institution. Only the divine is, which is why Bella has no problems in any of the different wards and Don Marshall districts, whether it's, she has a plethora of like institutions she can
Parmesan.
Parmesan.
I'm a weird dwelf.
Yeah. But you're also in a very divine city, so there's a lot more opportunity for you to learn versus arcane.
Yeah, so we kind of want
The
to keep Henry
Kobolds-
on the DL.
So, well, there's that, but the Cobalt Soul would be the only safe place to go and learn any arcane practices.
Okay.
Or the bees.
I mean, they could be not arcane. They could be divine. I mean, I'm not.
But just
picky,
go, just go to the black market. I'm sure it's fine. I'm not there.
The underground.
What's around our place?
It's a series of neighborhoods.
They're made up of retired.
Like either
Adventurers.
retired
There's a
folks that
marketplace
were
and stuff. Or...
Yeah, there's like a local trades market in the area of the Abundant Terrace. There's at least 2 or 3 separate taverns and inns, and it's pretty. The Abundant Terrace is
Abundant.
I can go to sleep.
Are
So
any,
could I.
are any of the retired adventurers having a yard sale to sell off some of their old adventuring magic items that are world breaking?
I don't know that they
Yes!
view it that way, but you can always try to introduce yourself to your neighbors if you choose to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people have yard sales all the time. They could be having yard
On the
sales.
Abundant Terrace, they
You're not
don't.
going to see a weird tree come over. Hi, I'm your neighbor.
All right. Yes, absolutely. I want to introduce myself to him.
Hi.
Does a home improvement thing where you're just not even see the
Over the wall. There's Willow looking over the wall.
What new things can I find?
She's like an old school medieval family on the other side, just trying to be medieval.
Yeah.
There's this tree.
Just shoveling shit. They're all dirty. They
Well,
got
there's good
boils.
filth over here.
They got boils all over their face and stuff.
It's not that kind of neighborhood.
You need some help with that.
Who's that? That's the king.
I believe
didn't vote
wasn't
for
there a recommendation that once you were settled in to possibly throw
Oh,
a
block
party of sorts?
Block party. That'd be
get
good. Invite your
people
neighbors.
to know who you
Learn-
are.
learn
I think it was the
everybody.
prefecture at the Sarenrae had mentioned that.
That'd be a good
We'll do
idea.
We'll do that.
Invite
on the
important
5th day
people
of
with
our
lots of
week,
money.
Okay.
Or maybe the
When the house is mostly put together.
7th day of
Yes.
the week. We're gonna do that on the last day.
That's fair.
Organics need food. What are you feeding them?
Not mulch people.
Mulch people.
I said not people.
That's why I said unfortunate.
Bring out your night soil. Bring
That's right.
out your night soil.
That's right.
I feel curious about exploring the basement.
Oh, they haven't
That's-
finished it.
They'll get started on it. I'll say at some point you'll explore it. Okay. I like that idea.
Going crazy with my tiny spider.
Gonna have a garden party. Don't touch anything
With
with
all,
things.
with all your
Weird shit.
puppery. Well, your topiary puppets.
I grew a lot of.
Yeah, let's like
I grew a lot of benches and tables. And
let's
stuff.
do it. Let's do an open air barbecue. Like, where you put like the whole cow on a rack and like put a fire under it and like
And I can
you
use
cook
the
the
bones later for
you
more
splay it
topiary.
out and then everybody comes and
Roast
there's
a pig.
Use the
yeah,
bones
pigs
later.
aren't big enough. Oh, little mastodon.
No!
Oh. Yeah. Don't knock it till you tried it.
Watch the four come out this amazing like fur
Like
coat.
fur coat. Yeah.
There's like a
With like a trunk
rotating
around her,
mastodon
with
on a spit.
a trunk around her neck.
Plenty of food to feed the crowd.
Where did you get that from? Oh, just one of those stupid.
It was weird. There was two of these.
Just in a cage.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it was doing anything.
It was basically eating up all our food.
Sign unhappiness skit.
Ernesto is also your stable master as well to maintain the stable rate.
Who is?
Ernesto.
Ernesto.
The captain of the guard.
Ernest,
Ernest?
sorry, Ernest.
Ernest.
Take the time
Ernest
to
goes to the
kinda
stables.
venture through town and find a
Ooh, we have a
suitable
name for your
weapon
home now. Stone Grove. I like it.
to pair
Which
with
isn't-
my battle axe or my hammer.
Which isn't far from what it was called before. The Stone Keep. We just changed it to the Stone Grove.
That's fine.
So I take the room I take is looks on the background.
But yeah, but his next
No.
his room next door.
Well, he's in the very
yeah,
front.
he's in the front. I'm in the back.
I
'Cause
suspect you
I
want
want access to be able to escape.
to sneak out. Yeah, I gotcha.
I do want to have a conversation with Kellen Rafton and
Oh, Kellen Rafferton, the
and
gnome.
Grumble
Okay.
about maintaining the garden. When we're away, I'm also going to talk to my little guys that are
Yeah.
not dead.
All your little like
Your
little
gelflings.
organics that you bring into existence.
Basically, I want them to help each other keep this, and I don't want anybody killing the other. Work together.
Okay. But I mean, there's a lot of spiders here. I ate like two of my friends yesterday.
Spiders eating plants.
Well, yeah, they drag it off to use it. Well, you realize they have mandibles and they can liquefy shit.
Why did they need the plants?
I don't know. Maybe they just like to target things that run away from them.
Don't run away.
Oh, well, fuck you. I'm not going to stand there and be turned into mulch.
That's why you climb on top of it and ride it.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
And I would say at some point the following day, there's at least a dozen like little plant pixies riding spiders out in the yard.
There we go. The spider mounts.
How big are these damn things?
You grew them.
No,
They're
I-
getting bigger, apparently.
Well, no, they don't have to be that big. I mean, little,
I
just
mean,
these.
the first
Some-
one
some of
apparently
them
I
were-
squished, and now they're getting.
Well, that was more of a reflex, though,
Yes,
to be
and-
fair.
but originally, weren't they like dinner plate size?
Yeah, they were like dinner
They
plate
were-
size.
they
Some
were
of the
like,
ones you saw.
Pretty good size
Yeah.
critters.
To be honest, the one you squished
At least
probably
milk them
could
for
have
their
lived.
poison.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Why did it die?
Right? At least milk them for their poison.
Well, that's fair.
Gotta get
Creepy, but
some
fair.
venom
That could
out
be
of it.
Yeah, that could be a good side business.
Oh, I already
for us.
have spider venom.
Yeah, but we could sell it.
This is true.
Why would you sell it? That means they could use it against us. I say we,
What is everybody again? You?
yes.
Maybe it kills trees.
I've seen a lot of tables and
Maybe gardeners
house
can use it
pictures.
to kill weeds.
I believe
and
everybody
trees.
is against me.
You know, how you cut a tree down and the stump just
I'm a
won't
little
die.
worried about
Yes,
Willa's identity
we had a
conflicts.
stump that we tried to kill in our backyard for like 6 months.
Yeah, you do everything to that stump, but maybe spider poison would kill the stump of that tree.
We wound up having
She
to
has
catch
since
on fire.
learned that she may not be what she thinks she is, but she still identifies as a tree.
Let's see, protection money.
Okay, so I want to find magnificent mansion, teleport, telepathy, and word of recall.
Give me an investigation check as you begin to spend a day at the Library of the Cobalt Soul.
Are you with me during the library?
Well, you're in a different one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
You have your choice. I mean, you could be in the Abundant Terrace Academy. You could be in, let's see, you have lots of places you could be.
My first investigation check is 9.
Okay. Give me 2 more. So, from your perspective, you have the Academy of the Silver Talon that you could go to. You have the Academy of the Braving Grounds, the Academy of the Quad Roads. You have the Abundant Terrace. The Dusk Meadow. You can go to the Dusk Meadow. You have access to everything because of your divination. They know a cleric when they see one.
21 and 17.
21-17.
the Legion of the Con.
You find at least one book
Mhm.
that seems to have a lot of information related to a spell called the Magic Mansion.
Okay.
It's pretty high. It's high craft.
Yep.
It'll take some effort.
Yep.
They want to charge you 18 gold to copy and give you a full copy of the spell.
18 gold. Okay.
And you now have a spell book solely to learn Magic Mansion.
That's fine.
And it'll be an effort.
There'll be some
but
long roads ahead of us. That's
it'll be
okay.
an effort, but yeah, you can start learning it.
Okay.
Learning what?
So
By the way, because I keep screwing up, you guys are in. You're in the Braving Grounds. I, don't know
Yes.
why I said the
you keep
Abundant
saying
Terrace
Abundant Terrace, but
because
we're
I
in the
had
Braving
my
I have it
notes
written
up.
down as the Braving.
Did I find any of the other spells?
No references.
Well, could you find us? Find any? You're looking for information for stuff.
Teleport, telepathy, and
Yeah.
word reading.
While you're there, I'm going to ask you to look up any information on the Shadowfell to bring back for me. I'm not going to give any explanations
So
why.
I'll
You-
look for the shadow.
Give me an investigation check for anything related to Shadowfell.
14.
14. You actually find a lot of information here about the Shadowfell. The key bit of information you discover is that Vecna's ascension
Mhm.
was because of his ability to take a city out of the Shadowfell, and he almost used it to supplement or supplant the Vasselheim, the city of Vasselheim. So there's a lot of general information about Vecna, the Shadowfell, the duality of the nature of the Shadowfell versus the Fae, and it's basically more renowned for a haven for very dark and sometimes nefarious or sometimes just unknown creatures that just dwell within the Shadowfell, and it is its own plane of existence. And I'll say that you find at least 2 decent books that talk about the Shadowfell. In fact, I could use those 2.
Should I have
One
asked-
book is called Night and Day, and then another book is called The Rise of Vecna. Because I've already created those 2, so I know they exist.
Would I have wanted her to look up for like how much would I know about the Fae? 'Cause, like the Feywild.
Well, you asked her to look up Shadowfell.
I know, but like I want to know if I would want her to look for that too. If
Well, I
already
mean,
know
most
stuff
of your
about it.
information you learned from Oak Tree or from Oakleaf.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whatever he shared with you could be subject matter.
Okay, so I probably want her to look up that too, so I can research
Okay.
them.
You can give me a final roll to see if you can find anything about the Fae.
8.
8. Nothing specific
Okay.
about the Fae in the library during your
It's okay.
day's worth of investigation.
I can.
Anything you want to get done, Marrow?
Yeah, I wanted to find a battle axe to match my hammer. So I have
Okay.
like an axe and a hammer.
Okay.
Something that equivalent.
Do you want it to be a versatile axe that could either be with one hand or 2 hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a great axe, just a regular.
Gotcha.
Something that it's a little bit beefier than my hand axes.
Okay.
I can use to throw, but
Yeah, you can add that to your inventory.
okay.
Over the course of a few days, you would have visited a market or a smith and acquired that based on what you needed. Sure.
I could, because I have a great axe, but I can give him my warhammer. I got that, my whack-a-mole. Bucket de
I
molar.
have a warhammer.
He's got a warhammer, I think.
Oh.
I just don't think he has a war
I'm
axe.
trying to find something to
Or
a
battle
proper
axe.
mate. If
It's
you're gonna
not a
fight
great
2
axe.
weapons, you want something that's kind of balanced so that you're not over swinging one or the other.
So I just realized
Because you're practicing 2-weapon combat without finesse being involved.
Yeah.
So that's where the proficiency you're heading towards.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I'm not there yet, but I want to have that weapon ready when I do get there.
So one of the evenings, we'll say on the 4th day, there's been a flurry of activity. Some of us have made contacts. The staff is settled in. All of your rooms, while have been in the process of being refurbished, some have furniture, some don't. It's still in that kind of move-in process where you're acquiring things for your rooms. But on an evening of a meal where all of you gather around the table, you have a guest. We'll say that Devaste, as you're all eating, walks in with this half-orc female dressed in partial plate. She is dressed very nicely, and you recognize her symbols of being a Dawn Father. More importantly, she seems to be the Dawn Father of the Silver Talon's Reach. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to our guest for the evening. Why did I take that off? Volka Fazim. She is the current acting Dawn Marshal. Sorry, not Dawn Father. Dawn Marshal of the Silver Talon's Reach.
Name again?
Her name is Vorka, V-O-R-K-A, Fazim, F-E-Z-I-M. Fazim.
F-E-Z-I-M.
Spell that quick.
F-E-Z-I-M.
Dawn Marshall.
And she appears to be half orc.
I'll ask you.
Didn't mean to bother you all this evening. I wasn't aware you had sat down to a meal.
Would you like to join us?
I would love to join you. Devon Stay kind of goes over, gets another chair, drags it over to the table. And for now, you guys take your meals in the common room. It's been kind of turned into like a universal space of both like being able to sit over by one of the fireplaces, read, relax, or meet with people that come and go. And then in the very center of the space,
Day 5, day 4, day 4.
we'll say the end of day 4. So this is the evening's meal of day 4 of your 7-day kind of time dilation that you're going through.
Okay.
My understanding is that all of you have been put within Pike's watch. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
What are your plans? I love what you've done with the place. This place has sat empty for so long. I had almost thought about turning it into a barracks for the proving grounds, but I could never get the sponsorship for it. So I'm glad someone has taken it on.
Oh, we're thinking about building a little barracks out back.
I'd be more than happy to provide any assistance that you might need for that. As you know, or you may not know, I don't know what Pike has shared with you.
Very little. to be honest.
Coming, sorry, what did you say?
Very little, to be honest.
Oh,
We have a mission that we need to go up north and to remove runes. But
oh, you're going up to the Thundrain and up
Tell
in
her
the
everything.
Zenwick.
I have
Are
no
you
problem.
planning on heading to the Zenwick soon?
Were we not supposed to?
I don't know.
I don't
Are you
care.
planning on going soon, or are you planning on lingering in Vesselheim?
Yes,
for
No,
the
I'm
season?
telling
We're
them. I was like,
planning on
whether or
going
not,
soon.
I was like, was I not supposed to tell people what we were doing?
I mean, the Rhymefang lair and the Rhymefang ruins, well, they're dangerous, to say the least. Is
We
there a
do have-
reason why you're heading that way?
We're going up north to check out the Yeti migration and stuff for Mike.
Oh,
And
I
We
wasn't
do
aware they
have a missing
migrated.
Friend, though.
they're migrating
Oh,
and checking out why and
There's been rumors.
going up to Hedrick's Wall, you know, checking out things.
I'm aware of Hedrick's Fort, but I've never heard of
Sorry,
Hedrick's Wall.
Hedrick's Fort.
What are we going to do about Jerry,
Who?
our missing friend? He was kidnapped.
Oh, you have a kidnapped friend that's missing. This is turning out to be a very interesting dinner party, to say the
Why I
least.
said wall in my
I
notes.
have no filter. I've been told this.
Speaking of which, do we know anything about the airships? Has anyone heard back about
Amazing. I've never thought of it.
information on the airship?
In what regard?
Oh, I had some information from someone that they possibly saw our friend being loaded onto an airship.
Well, I know that we have regular transports that run from the Vasselheim stanchion to Amman. We have some that go to Rexentrum and Nicodranus, and we have one that goes to Marquette as well. Usually the 5th and 7th day of each week. Very expensive to run these ships.
You hadn't told us about that yet.
That's
Oh.
why you're like, oh, so you have a lead on Jerry.
But that was right when we ended. So you hadn't. So I'm assuming you tell
Yeah,
us about it.
yeah.
You know.
This winter, we plan on instituting a high chair. We are instituting what's called a Grand Dawn Marshal. And, well, it usually takes place during the Winter Fest. So sometime near the end of this year, we plan on putting together the idea of selecting a Grand Marshal. I was wondering, could I count on you and your people's support for this? I plan on offering myself up.
We don't know you.
It's fine. You can always get to know me.
Tell us about yourself.
Sure. I'm not used to ferns talking to me.
Okay, you're racist. Or is there anything else you would like to
Racist
tell us?
doesn't work.
My name is Folka
Check.
Fazim. I've been the Don Marshal of the Silver Talon for 10 years now.
Are we familiar with him? Am I familiar with him?
Give me a history
Her?
check.
Him?
Her.
Her. You said insight?
Jesus Christ. History.
History, sorry.
None of us are awake tonight.
19.
19. She's telling the truth. I mean, you know of her. She is from a particular family that fought in the Vecna Ascension campaign, and her family's been in Vasselheim for the last 200 years, post Vecna Ascension attempt. Her family's well known within the Silver Talon Reach, and she is considered to be a leading contestant for the Grand Marshal seat.
Who is your components?
Well, there's Issylra. She holds the seat of the Quad Roads. And then, of course, oddly enough, there's Jade Mountain Tree. The Tabaxi that holds the seat for the Abundant Terrace. And then there is Himo Ithana. He holds the seat for the Dusk Meadow.
Can I get this
Who gets
again?
to vote?
Okay, what was the first name?
Shade.
No, that was the second name. What was the first name?
Oh, sorry.
Issylra Gareth.
Yes.
Who votes?
Well, it's a general community of votes. The different
Only
wards.
members vote? Or
if
the
you-
populace?
If you declare residence, there's a populace vote. Once the populace vote is considered, each of the seats then vote for an agreeable Grand Marshal. And by the way, I misspoke. I am the Don Marshal of the Braving Grounds, which is why I'm here. I reside in my ward, and when I received word from the prefecture, Pike is the Don Marshal of the Silver Talon's Reach. I misspoke. I apologize for that. And since you are Pike's watchers, I happen to be an ally of Pike. She was the one that sponsored the idea of the Grand Marshal, and I felt it important to find out where your opinions sit.
Do I know anything about the opponents?
I got 2 of them down. I didn't get the last one.
With that previous history check, you would know the basics about them. They're
Yay,
all
nay, good, bad.
I mean, they're all very much the aristocracy of Vasselheim. They've
weapon
been
politicians.
here for a long time. They're a generational leadership. And you get the general feeling that Pike is challenging this notion by kind of creating this new Grand Marshal, forcing them to have to finally come up with a kind of like a unified approach to protecting the city. Whereas before it was very kind of isolated. Like some wards could just completely ignore concerns of the city and just do their own thing. But ever since Vecna's near ascension, things have been shifting and changing. I would say from Scarlet and Zephora's perspective, this would probably not be okay considering what you guys practice, and there's a little bit more in chaos as opposed to order, considering what the 2 of you are involved in.
Thriving chaos.
Yeah. So
Rachel, you're so funny.
But it would be nice to have a also, it would be nice to have a politician in our back pocket. We could stuff the ballot boxes. You know.
Little Timmy would like to know if he can vote now.
Our spiders would put votes in.
10-legged Timmy.
You know, our spiders would
missing a
vote.
leg, so of
Yeah.
course this was Little Timmy.
We'd make all our
10-legged Timmy.
spiders go to the
10-legged
polling
Timmy.
boxes and vote.
10-legged Timmy. Ooh, I want chips. What? I will take a copper piece.
Okay.
Copper
so
piece.
we have dinner. We
What's her favorite color? What's her favorite weapon?
Jeez.
What's
There it goes.
what does she do with her free time?
give
I
me more cookies.
I go to dinners to seek support with my free time.
What about the people?
What about the people?
That's not the right answer.
That wasn't really a question.
So
She's rambling. She needs to be out in her garden.
No, you gotta protect the people.
Well, this has been a very excellent and interesting meal. Hopefully, I can garner your support in the future. If you need anything, just reach out to my regent's office, and we'll be more than happy to help you.
But we are really interested in building barracks out in the back. So
Well, you know, it's always good to be protected.
If you have supplies that you're not
do you know the
using,
difference between a kiss ass
Excuse
and
me?
a brown nose?
I say if you have
Depth
supplies you're not
perception.
using.
I will check with my quartermaster, see what she has. If there's anything extra we don't need, I will send it your way.
Also, if you have any books by chance that you're
In regards.
I don't want a bunch of Don Martians
Up
wandering around
to-
my place when I'm
I
trying to
think
do
you
shit.
should.
never not have enough books for on the area we're going to, which is
Rim.
Rim.
Well, you're more than welcome to come and use our local region's library to do some research. I personally do not do much investigative study of those runes. I find that the greater Othanzia holds my attention. But if you ever do plan on traveling up to Hadrick's Fort, they have quite a bit of information regarding the northern tribes and Goliaths and the creatures that live on the other side of the fort walls. So could offer you more information as well.
Would you by chance know anyone that's been in that area recently?
If you go to the Slayer's Take, lately they've had a couple groups come back. I believe there is what is his name? There's a tiefling that goes by the name of Gomori. Seek her out over at the Slayer's Take. I believe one of her groups had come back from, I don't know if you're familiar with the Slayer's Take, but they hunt monsters. And they hunt monsters for the purposes of alchemy supplies and harvesting meat, bone, fur, and keeping the general population of the more nefarious monsters under control.
I have a friend.
I'm profitable.
Yeah, give me a history check.
Wow.
I need to go to Monster Hunt. Wait, I'm itching
You know they
to run.
exist.
Yeah. As far as I got with me. Okay. So Tiefling Gamori?
I have a friend in the Slayer's Take. Her name is Delora. She used to spar with me and Fen when I was learning my basics sword fighting.
No. So you have some familiarity with the Slayer's Take. Interesting.
I almost joined them.
Why did you not?
Because she joined us.
Something happened. Don't really know.
Well, I'm sufficiently creeped out. Wonderful dinner. Hopefully, if you ever get a chance to stop by my offices, feel free.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for the meal. And she stands up and kind of, you can hear her boots fade as she walks towards. You can hear Devaste kind of open the door, let her out. And she's now, her and one other person are currently clearing the table. So the fourth night comes to a draw and an end. You have 3 more days to plan for. What would you like to do?
Who wants a beer?
Or you could continue your table conversation about what to do next.
At the conversation, in the middle of this, at some point in the conversation, I do bring up the fact that I was told by a friend about a certain person who was carried away on an airship.
So he's way out of the city. Could be anywhere.
That's Jerry.
Yes, that's Jerry.
The ship that they saw him on was going to Amman.
You would know it that by airship travel, 2 weeks. By standard ship travel, 2 months,
So he's-
depending on the weather conditions.
Who's in charge?
It's
Y'all are.
it's a
Oh, all right.
It's a group.
It's the first person who raises their hand.
Yeah.
Ironically, the cat is corralling us.
Can we have a rule then that when some stranger comes in to eat dinner with us, we don't tell them our business?
That'd probably be better because I'm pretty sure Pike didn't want us telling everyone that we were going to Rim Thing.
Well, nobody told me that.
Pike did.
I don't know.
Well, pretend everyone's your enemy. Pretend
Pretend everyone's
everyone's
your
your
enemy.
enemy until you know for sure.
Think everything's a secret until someone says it's not a secret.
Does that mean?
It's
Yes.
late night. You know, it's like
does
that
mean
dinner
you're
hour.
my enemies, or should I not trust
I might
you?
be,
Okay.
maybe not. I'll have to find out.
All right, I will tell you nothing.
Are you letting anyone know, or are you just heading out?
Finally,
they're
you've
arguing,
learned.
so I'm just kind of
Good.
like, anyone else want to
Barely
go
know
out
me.
for a drink
What is this
tonight?
finally about?
Go
Yeah.
out for a drink?
Go out for a drink tonight.
We got plenty of wine here. Why do we want to go out?
I think she wants to go explore.
Oh,
I thought we could go.
Yeah, I want to
find
go explore too. I would like to explore.
you want to go find what?
I
wanna go to all the
find
shops.
This group, the Slayers take.
I think I need to
And-
follow you.
And get some protection
Drink?
money out of them.
To what purpose?
Are you saying
You don't want
To
this
find the Slayers
place to
taking
burn
it
down,
as
do you?
far-
I saw some ne'er-do-wells
Find more
nearby.
information about the area we're going to. I don't want to go there blind.
I want to do that. I'm going to go to all the
eaten by an
shops and see if
ooze,
I
for
can
God's
squeeze
sakes.
some money out of them. And also, I want to see if I see any
We
beggars
okay, we have
and
to
get
do
them on
it
my payroll.
on the down
As
low
my eyes and ears
because,
in the
you
streets.
know, you don't want to
Guys are
tell
so
them
funny.
that, hey, we're going. This is where we're going. We're going.
That's
to
what I
Rim Thing."
figured we'd just go out
Our
for a
house
drink.
is going to be vacant for who knows how long.
Exactly. That's why
Nothing like
Ernesto-
introverts in an introverted game behaving in an introverted fantasy.
Hey, I played Tobias. Now I'm playing a character totally opposite of him.
So yeah, going for a
He was
drink.
you at our last
That's
game. I
Why
wouldn't
don't
keep
we-
my mouth shut.
But
I don't see anything
drink.
wrong with that.
I was gonna say, Willa, don't talk about it, but we're all gonna just go for a drink. Just a drink.
So, Willa, do you want to
Just
go
a
for a
drink.
drink?
Just
Or do you want to stay
I have something I want to work on.
here or out of the house?
Yes.
It's such a Willow response.
Willa, you can trust me.
Maybe not all the friends at the
Or
table,
can-
but you can trust me.
Or can you?
I don't know. I found that people that I thought I could trust have lied to my entire, I think, life.
existence.
Yeah.
I think you'd say existence.
I can't
yeah.
trust anyone anymore. No.
Join the club.
Oh,
I
there's a
think
club.
I need to. I think I
Said
need
the
to have
spider
some
to the fly.
conversations with
Okay. So she's gonna have
Where's
conversation
Grumble?
with trees, and we're going to go out bar hopping.
Basically, what
Pub
I'm
crawl?
going to be doing.
crawl.
Pub crawl.
Okay.
What I want to do is I'm going to be playing with my tree stride. I'm going to see if I can extend the distance.
Sounds
extend
dirty
the
when you're
distance.
doing that to your arm at the same time.
Sorry, I have bruises all over my body and they ache. Anyways,
Judo,
no, I haven't been doing Krav Maga in a
Krav
while.
Maga.
No, this is just working.
Krav Maga. Isn't that crab rangoon? Isn't that a salad?
No, Krav Maga.
Crab rangoon's not a salad.
No?
It's those little.
There's the Chinese food.
Chinese-
Oh, okay.
Krav Maga is a.
Krav Maga
self-defense.
sounds like a name I should use as an NPC.
No, it's an Israeli martial art.
Yeah.
All right, so
Little
she's
hopping.
gonna
It is now
go.
an NPC name.
Krav Maga.
Krav Maga.
There you
I
go.
love it.
Crab my gosh. He's a
Grab my
gosh.
gosh.
And he's blind.
Yeah.
I'm like going to a cobbler. What's your name, cobbler? Buster. What's your last name? Brown.
Buster
What do you do? I make shoes.
or cobbler.
So ultimately, what I'm going to try and attempt, I'm going to work on it from henceforth. I'm working on extending my tree stride, and I want to eventually become transport via plant.
Okay.
So,
So that's what you're working on right now?
first, I'm working on extending it. Then I'm going to see if I can get other people to come with me. Here, join me inside the tree.
Okay. Because right now the limited power of it allows you to move through it, but now you're focusing on getting it to the point where more people can step through at the same time.
Oh crap! How How do you practice that? Do you grab some random person and try and walk through a tree and they slam into the tree as you
I have other little plant creatures, you know.
All right.
Already kids are mistrustful of her.
You can do it with the spiders.
Come go on an adventure with me.
Yeah, how
So
about
who's going on the pub crawl?
Everyone.
Everybody but Willa?
Everybody who
but-
drinks alcohol. I think.
Bye, Willa.
Weird.
Weird.
You know, to get to know people, you sometimes have to go drinking with them.
Being a barmaid, you would know that.
That's right.
You told me I shouldn't trust anybody. If I go with you, I will tell everybody about our plans.
It's better she stays behind.
Yeah, better it is.
This is why we're all just going drinking.
Yes, drinking.
So, coming out of the Sun Ward, you are in the general area called the Pearl Quarter. And you come across a particular first pub that strikes your fancy, known as the Forlorn Lamb. It is not an inn. It is a traditional tavern and eatery. And it's quite busy, quite lively. It seems to be made up of crowds that are more local. Scarlett, give me a perception check, if you would, please.
Forlorn what?
Forlorn Lamb.
You get these names. Yeah, that's where I want to go to eat. A sad lamb.
Persuasion.
No, that should be a perception.
It's a. You said it's a tavern. I'm just
I don't
It
know
is
what
a
perception
traditional
is.
tavern / eatery.
Oh wait, there it is. Okay, so I do get two. Okay. Ooh, nat 20 and 19.
Nice, good rolls. You see a familiar fellow that you had talked to and got the original information about Jerry. He's here.
Okay.
You can see him tucked away in the corner at a table drinking from a tankard. He sees you.
Are you scared to see me?
No, he motions like you notice that he kind of signals you by putting a second tankard on the table, and you would know that means he needs to talk to you.
Someone else looks, think he's flirting with someone else.
This like drunken halfling female walks over. I noticed you put out the second tankard. Let's go, baby.
I motion him to go toward back wall.
Okay, he gets up, grabs the tankard, and he eventually walks towards the very back of the bar area. He's now kind of like hovering in the shadows of the back wall, just kind of patiently waiting.
Okay.
How are you handling this?
So I'm using a bit of my stealth to make sure nobody can kind of see me talking with him. And I
Maybe a little bit of deception too, like you're being casual about it. So give me stealth and deception.
Right, you're still.
You and that mushroom hat. Fucking hysterical. I have a pillow that big at home.
This is a very small pillow.
3 and 16.
So 16.
well,
You add your modifier?
I have the stealth is +8. So
24 for your stealth. What'd you get for deception?
deception
3.
Well, she has advantage on stealth.
17
17. Do you have modifiers for deception?
+3.
Okay. So you kind of slip away and make your way to the back of the bar so that you can have a conversation. I don't believe he ever gave you his name, correct?
No.
Okay.
What's the name of the
What are the rest of you doing at this point?
Tavern?
It's
The interior of the
Forlorn
space is
Land.
crowded. There's a couple free tables. It is run by a human barkeep. You can see that they are behind the bar. There are people that dish out drinks and food, and a kind of grumpy middle class, like middle-aged person, like stops in front of you wearing very kind of like apron and leathers, and just like, yeah, you need a table for 1, 2, 3, 4 of you. There's 4, 5. I don't see a fifth.
Oh, there's one around.
You guys are counting. You don't
went to the
see
press.
Scarlet
It's
anywhere.
fine. 5 or 6.
She's already
people.
slunk off.
Make it 6.
You want a table for 6? 5? 6?
6.
I just said 6, didn't I?
Yeah, but she said 5.
6.
6?
6.
Oh, well, yeah, come with me. I've got a couple of the bigger tables in the back I can see you at. Please, have a seat. What can I get you? You want wine, whiskey,
Ale.
ale? You want ale? You're not there,
Oh,
so you
that's
can't have it.
it.
What would you like?
Ivory went with us to the pub crawl.
No, sorry. Pets aren't allowed in.
No, pet.
They'll have to wait outside.
Yeah, wait, yeah. No.
She's an emotional support animal.
That sounds good. Sounds like she can offer you lots of emotional support outside of my tavern.
So she sits by the door.
And every now and then she pokes her head in.
I love
Scare
this
the
world.
crap out of it.
I love this world more and more now.
You can see as people leave, they like.
This is now my favorite tavern because there's
Nobody's
no pets allowed.
coming in.
Yeah.
Gonna put a star by that one. Okay.
So true.
I mean, Sephora also doesn't like animals. Weird.
Ivar.
I know it's weird, huh? All my characters hate pets.
Such a weird
So,
character.
ale, whiskey, liquors,
Wine.
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 I can bring some wine, some local stuff. Bring some of the Vasselheim ice wine. I can bring some of that.
Ooh, my favorite.
Some
That's wine's fine.
some grog.
Boilermaker.
Oh,
Yeah.
Make that 2.
you want that with a grog base, or do you want it with a dwarven ale base? Your
Ale.
stuff is pretty. I'll bring you a dwarven ale.
Ale
No.
base.
Ale based. Okay. What would you like?
Well, you won't serve what I want, but I'll take some wine. Red.
I'm not really sure how to take that, but okay. I'll.
I'll have your type in a glass.
Yeah. I'll have your blood type in a glass, please. Thank you. Straight from the tap's always
You
best.
watch it.
That would
Someone pulls
be
out a big
me.
straw. It just like jams it into his sack.
I'll join you. I need a bath today.
So Scarlett, you notice that they all gather at a table, and it's crowded. It's it's that kind of raucous kind of late night working crowd. The crowd that gets off late shift, late activities, whether they're coming off guard duty or coming off whatever they do for a living within the city of Vasselheim. That same individual you recognize, but his hood's pulled a little bit lower, but it's always the white teeth. Whenever he talks, it's always those perfect, annoying white teeth. That's the only thing you could see in his face.
Does he wear a green cloak?
Imagine running into you here.
I'm looking for information.
I might have it. I've got some more information on your friend Jerry.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I'd love to
Evidently,
hear it.
there's a group of wizards that work out of Amon that seem very interested in you.
How did you come by this information?
I was over at the Crucible, betting, gambling like I do there often. One of the fighters there I've developed a relationship with. He is set to travel to Amon, and evidently he is being sponsored by one of the wizards of the guild. And this guild was involved in your friend Jerry being transported to Amon.
So he's alive
Seems to be, yes.
at
They
the time.
described him as very strange looking. I guess I would describe him in general, wouldn't it? I'm working on the name of the guild in Amon. The name that the fighter gave me was not accurate. It didn't match what I was able to learn about them. So either they gave him a fake name, or this information's not quite
Did you get a location?
capital city of Amon's best I can do for now. But big city. I'll try to narrow it down as I can.
Do you have any contacts on the one that I should look up?
Not that I feel comfortable with. Your reputation gets ahead of you. I like my contacts to remain
Breathing.
whole. After that little stunt that you pulled back in the
But we got what we needed.
Yeah, I understand, but it's kind of hard to groom people to perfection if there's only body parts left
You can
over.
only go to that well so many times.
You're not there.
Well, is there any new information you need me to seek out? Or would you like me to focus on this for now?
Actually, we need some information, whatever you can dig up on ice giants and the Yetis.
The Frost Giant clans up
Frost
north.
giants, yes.
I can see what I could come across. I would also recommend maybe visiting the Slayer's Take. They always have good information in those regards.
That's what we're looking for.
Any contacts there that I should speak with?
No, I don't. I don't find that group interesting when it comes to what I specialize in. But there should be a good assortment of people you could reach out to there for that basic kind of information. I don't like to hang out there. A lot of do-gooders there. Not quite my type.
Just kind of rub you raw.
Nah, I just don't want to be known to them. We know what that's like. Somewhere in the middle of the tavern over at a very large oaken table is just a blank stare coming from a dwarf in the shadowy direction where you are. You know she can't see you. You're like,
Oh shit, I forgot her eerie hearing was.
Is she visibly
well,
I appreciate your efforts and I slip you 10 pieces of gold. For you.
thank you. Of course. Where can I find you?
You can send information to the Stone Grove.
Stone Grove. Not familiar with it.
It's new.
But I can still find you over at the Scarlet Shrieks, yeah.
Indeed.
Very well.
You can relay messages to there.
How's your relationship with Drafsheen going? Is he still
Well,
okay with you
as
being in
far
the
as
city?
I know. Have you heard otherwise?
Things have been quiet on the streets ever since the rumors that the Hound is back. They kind of keep a little low right now. We're still trying to vet that out.
Indeed. What about the huntsman?
Oh, I'm sorry, that's the same person. We call him the Hound. Your people call him the Huntsman. Remember, Scarlet, we work together. Different circles. Either way, we know he hunts and kills spies, so not somebody we hope is actually here. But if what you saw on your way here is true, and if what the draft scene has told others may be true, well, we could assume he might be operating in the area again. Oh, it's been a while.
Keep your ears open, just in case.
Ears and eyes whenever I can.
And eyes on your back. Because
It's a lovely
I'd
back.
hate to lose you.
I'd hate to lose me too.
Touch a spider's butt.
Well, enjoy your evening.
No, ask you
And he
to
just
fish.
kind of pulls his cloak a little tighter, drains the tankard, and offers you up the other tankard, and just kind of walks out.
Walk back to the table.
You guys watch as Scarlet
my
comes
drink?
back over.
What the hell?
So here's some. Here's your wine, dwarven ale. There's your dwarven ale. Boilermaker with an ale base. Got that for you. It's a little strong. Watch that kick. Red wine. Sets it in front of you. I got your Vasselheim ice wine. There you go. Food for anybody. Can I get anyone food? Well, enjoy your drinks.
Thank you.
I need another whiskey.
Absolutely. I'll fetch that for you. That'll be 3 gold, please, for the rounds. Thank you very much. Well, I'll come back with your whiskey shortly. And he turns, goes back to the bar. Eventually comes back with a bottle and some shot glasses to go down on the table. What do
We
you got?
didn't order this.
Hmm?
We didn't order this. I asked for a shot, not a bottle.
Oh.
It's
Well,
okay. We'll take the bottle.
no. It was included in the 3 gold, so I just assumed you wanted a bottle. There's 5 of you here. With a 6th empty chair, I just assumed it sounded like a drinking evening. But,
Definitely a drinking evening.
well, thank you for your patronage.
Do you know if there's
Sweet
anyone from
gods, she just drank that. What?
the Slayer's Take in here? In the bar?
They don't usually come this far into the quarter. They usually are over in closer. There's a tavern closer to them that they go to. It's called the Ivory Horn.
The Ivory Horn.
Yes, it's actually run by a retired Slayer's Take member,
What's the name?
Ivory Horn.
No, the
Krishna.
Krishna.
Harry.
Krishna.
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 Hare Krishna.
Yeah, little goblin fella.
What are we looking at? The person who's serving us?
He's roughly about 6 foot tall. He's wearing a rough kind of like cloth leather apron, kind of rolled up
Like the
sleeve
tavern
tunic, high boots,
Okay.
greasy leather pants and partial
Sores.
beard, and just kind of standing there, got a dopey look on his face.
All right. So
Owner?
I
You
say
the
we take this
owner?
bottle of
I'm
whiskey.
the barkeep. The owner,
Pay for it. Let's go.
head
pays
to
me to be the
Ivory Horn.
barkeep.
How do we get to the Ivory Horn?
Head out of the poor quarter to the south, go down to the main road, head over to the Slayers Take Guild, hang a right, and right across the street from the guild house you'll find the Ivory Horn.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna have to sit and enjoy my drink.
We're all
I'm
good
gonna
together.
throw back my wine and let's grab the bottle of whiskey and let's go to the Ivory Horn. We're looking for the Slayer's Take
Why are we looking for them?
to ask them questions.
Did you have something you wanted to ask someone, or?
No, I have no one particular to talk to whatsoever.
Yeah, she's so sus. She's so
Nice
sus.
check.
I'm gonna look around for anybody that looks
I
like
rolled a
like
two.
super down on their luck.
Not
Give me a
suspicious
perception
at
check
all.
as you scan the
Suspicious at
crowd.
all.
Yeah, no.
This is her normal schizophrenic.
She's
jittery
setting eyes
thing.
around the tavern.
Who are you looking for?
Not in particular. I
Come
just
on.
really wanted a drink today.
She's a 12. That's
Coming
low.
to look. I dwell amongst myself.
Yeah, we are looking for information.
Oh,
Yeah, you
I
were
want
the
to
one
get to
that's
sleep at some
Some
point
point.
tonight.
treasure hunt.
So a filthy 20.
Filthy 20.
Not
I
just a dirty
mean-
20, a filthy 20.
Most of the people here being of working class, and there are a handful of folks that look like they do a little bit better, but they also look to be it's kind of that vibe that the retired guy that goes to the same bar all the time, or retired person, depending on your point of view. But no one here particularly seems run down, or I would say the only thing you notice is that there is kind of she stands out a bit because she's wearing clothes that tell you she might be of a more noble class, but she's wearing a cloak over her nice clothes, and she seems to be drinking heavily. Long, kind of brown, reddish hair. You can't really see the front of her face, but she seems despondent, and she seems to be drinking quite a bit.
I will go over and talk with her. Or, better yet, I'll send her a drink, whatever she's drinking.
Hey, you want to send who a drink? Oh, Beth. Yeah, absolutely.
Her name's Beth.
She's local. Yeah. Her husband went missing recently. She's been in here kind of drowning her sorrows a bit over the last, I want to say, maybe 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, I'll go talk to her then. I'll just bring the drink and go talk to her.
Well, here you go. She drinks ice wine. Puts a glass in front of you.
Okay. Totally Mickey the shit out of it. No, I'm just kidding.
True serum.
Well, one drop or all of it? All
Oh,
of it.
I don't
No.
know. I could just.
Fentanyl.
I'll just use it. I'll just have.
She smells
I'll just have Bella do Speak with Dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why did you give me so much?
You guys watch as Sephora gets up and heads over to the main bar, and seems to be striking up a conversation. As you approach her, you set the glass down beside her. And she says, "Oh." And as she looks at you, she's young, like maybe in her late 30s, mid 30s, green eyes, a kind of pale complexion, but you can tell she's not sleeping. Like she has that look of someone that's very distracted by something. And oh, thank you for the drink. Would you like to join me?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, please have a seat.
All right.
And she kind of sips at it and finishes it, sets it down, pours. She's got a bottle in front of her. She pours it. Would you like some more?
No, thank you.
What's your name?
Zephora.
It's a pleasure to meet you. My name's Bethany. Bethany Griefston. Something I can help you with.
Well, you look kind of sad.
It's been a rough few days.
What happened?
My husband works for the Slayer's Take. He's in the business of transporting what they bring back to other locations. He was set to travel. What is it called? He was set to travel to a particular place that I had, not Winchleach, but the other one. Where is it?
Was he eating my bugs?
I had it up. My OneNote's being weird.
Was it somewhere that we've been?
Yes, it was.
Wasn't Winchleach? Was it the
What was the town you were supposed to go to look for the coin strikers again?
Glassboro.
Glassboro. Thank you. My husband was set to go to Glassboro, pick up a shipment that the Slayer's Take had warehoused there.
we got him killed.
No.
We did not
And
get him killed.
I haven't seen him since. He traveled with the coin strikers.
Oh.
And she goes on to describe him to you.
Uh-huh.
If you were Jerry,
Yeah.
it was the
The guy who
guy
got crushed.
by the boulder.
I know who murdered him. Would you like me to take care of him? I'm just kidding. All
But
right.
anyways, I haven't heard word or anything from him. There were some scouts who were supposed to be sent out, nothing back. But unfortunately, I paid to have him scried upon. And the seer that I hired to do that said that she couldn't find him and believed him to be dead. So I'm currently working up the courage to travel to the Glassboro and see if I can find any sign of him.
Well,
Save her a trip,
I'm looking
man.
for work, so.
You're looking for work.
Mhm.
What do you specialize in? What do you do?
Mhm. Take care of problems.
I don't know if this qualify as a problem.
I can take on many jobs.
Are you good at finding people?
I could probably find the person.
She reaches in the inside of her cloak and she pulls up like a bundle of just kind of like folded notes and maybe things that she's been taking notes on her own. She puts them in front of you. Could you find my husband? Do you think?
I can try.
Definitely appreciate it. I'm very much local to here. I reside in the Pearl Quarter. We keep a 2-story dwelling on the other side. If you think you could find him, I'd gladly pay your finder's fee. What do you charge?
So I'm taking it's probably a body retrieval.
I don't know. That's the problem.
Oh,
I don't know where he is. Even though the seer told me that she thought he was passed on,
oh.
I know that he was supposed to travel to Glassboro, pick up some items. He traveled with the Coin Strikers. I know that much, but
Yeah,
I
so
have
that
not.
was switch.
Well, 500 plus expenses.
That is more than I can afford, unfortunately. But I appreciate your offer.
Well, how much can you afford? I like you.
I'm not sure if I like you yet or not, but you seem pleasant. I have my own expenditure of 100 gold I was going to spend upon myself to go look for him. I'd be glad to give that to you. 50 gold now and 50 gold when you find any information regarding him.
All right.
She reaches in and places the 50 gold on top of the kind of note bundle that she handed you.
Okay. What's in the note bundle?
Opposite direction.
Notes, maps, journal entries, everything that
This
he
is
had
where we lost
collected.
Sephora.
Okay.
It'll take a little time to investigate it.
And I'll get like a description of him.
Yeah.
All right.
Hi, Sephora.
And that was the what? And he was going to the what?
He was supposed to travel to the Glass Barrow
Glass Barrel.
with the Coin Striker caravan, and then he was supposed to put together his own caravan and retrieve what the Slayers take had warehouse there as part of one of their missions.
Okay. Okay.
He hasn't seen any of the stuff that we brought back from the Coin Strikers.
I'll
has
go.
he?
And we already returned the stuff to the coin strikers.
Yeah.
Well, we went to the coin. I went with him to the Coin Strikers.
Yeah, you did.
So this is.
But
gonna
you're
be
just not
something-
really entirely privy to what
No,
their
no.
journey was.
No,
but
no.
yeah.
But I, like when she said Coin Striker. Well, I got an in for the
Right,
Coin
that's fair.
Strikers.
But I don't think Sephora went with us to the meeting with the coin strikers when we turned
Yeah, she
everything
did.
in. And
She
Yeah,
did.
she did.
Yeah.
was there.
She was
Yeah.
dropping off her drinks for us.
So
That's
we-
how we met her.
so we'd already.
No, it was before that. Yeah.
Because you guys had met her at the tavern,
And then she came with us.
I
recruited
didn't
her.
think she went with us. I thought she went to like do other things.
Well, that
then
was after the Coin
No, that
Strikers.
was after. That's after
Yeah.
when we went to
Yeah.
where we were going to stay at some church.
Yeah, the serenade.
Yeah.
Which didn't want to stay there.
Yes.
And so anyway, then we went. Then I went out to
So
the
instead of
whorehouse.
staying at the serenade, she stayed at the whorehouse.
Yes.
Yeah. And I stayed in a garden. It was great.
Okay,
I
so
had trippy dreams.
Pearl Quarter, I can meet you there. We're here.
I'm here often. Yes.
Okay.
And you could always drop my name with Frederick, the one that was serving drinks over at your table.
Charged
How
the
did I know
widow
his
for
name was
killing her
Frederick?
husband.
She
Okay.
didn't kill her husband.
I know.
What was her husband's name?
We never got his name.
Sorry.
His name was Douglas Venda. He Well, he works for the-
Pinhead.
Douglas Vanda, he works for the Slayer's Take. He also did scribe work for some mages that go by the name the Golden Raven or the Blackened Raven. I'm not really sure. His expertise was language translation. So when he wasn't working for the Slayer's Take, he would often work for the Golden Raven to do scribe work. He felt that there was some additional work he could do for them in the Glass Barrow, but he was never really open about it.
All right. Thank you, and I'll
He's mafia.
get back to you soon.
Thank you. And she just kind of hear her wine bottle pour and
I'll come back to the table.
What's her name?
What do you have
Beth.
to say?
Bethany Griefston?
I thought it would be Bethany Vendor because his name is Douglas Vendor.
Not necessarily.
Who knows what they do in this place?
Okay.
It could be common law.
Apparently she doesn't have like children or something.
Who do you know over at the Coin Strikers? That dwarf person.
Okay.
Rude. Droves are plenty good for ya.
The
I heard you from the other table. The dwarf are people, not persons. You scary duck.
It was
Dusky
Paul
little
Hastings.
thing, you.
You're
You look like
flurry
bad
of them.
decisions and good mornings for sure.
Aldi Stonefoot. It was Aldi Stonefoot. It was he also
can
the one
climb me
that
like a
gave us the
mountain.
box for delivery to Hadrick Wall
Mhm.
or Hadrick Fort
To Fort Hadrick. Yep.
or Hadrick. Okay.
It's got a contact up there
Using
that
some
needs to
dwarf
get delivered to at some point because you had mentioned you were
innuendo.
potentially hanging
Yeah.
up or heading up towards the Rimefang ruins at some point.
So we know his name.
There's a box.
Fort Hadrick. I don't know why you said Hadrick Wall and now I'm
So while you guys are kind of getting drinks done and getting ready to crawl to the next tavern, the Ivory Horn, what are you doing back at the garden?
As I told you, I was working on getting
Yeah,
better.
but here's the thing: you say you're going to do something, and then as you sit in silence while they role play,
Uh-huh.
you almost inevitably change your mind. So I always like to double check.
No, it's like I.
Your
realized-
rabbit holes tend to get deeper.
So,
I was born a small. I was born out of a small nut.
What was supposed to be growing vine.
Are we
the
all
horse is
technically
getting
born out of a
worse.
small nut?
Yeah, we all look like rats in the womb. Anyways,
Well, some of us have bigger nuts than others, but that's fine.
Um,
so yeah,
okay.
I'm
More frequent nuts.
I want to work on my tree strat. I want to slowly turn it into transport via plant.
Okay. There are at least a dozen, like decent sized trees that are in the garden. How many times do you want to try the spell out?
Well, I haven't cast any spells today, so I guess I have 7.
Okay.
And I think they last for a while too.
Now the way this works,
It lasts for a concentration up to a minute.
well, and the way it works, you have to know of another tree's location you want to use.
Yeah.
So I would say that the Abundant Terrace or the Duskwood Grove.
is it within 500 feet?
I know about a lot of trees that we've had on the way here.
That's fair. I mean, do you
Yeah,
want to be spooky goth girl that pops out of strange trees throughout the neighborhood because
Absolutely.
you're practicing the spell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because right,
Cool.
like
I'm gonna create a rumor mill around that. I love it.
Yay! I love it. So
Spying on us.
Ah! The tree
Came out of
steps.
nowhere.
Willa steps out of a tree, steps back into it. She writes Subway on top of each tree she comes out of.
It's eat fresh.
What? Tree stride isn't limited to 500 feet, is it?
yes, tree stride
Oh, okay.
specifically is 500 feet.
It's the travel
Yeah.
transport via plant.
Transport
That's,
via plant.
So like I'm trying to
Gotcha.
turn one into the other because they're very similar in walking through trees.
Gotcha.
So I'm trying to evolve it. That's why I didn't take transport via plant first because I wanted to. I really did.
Gotcha. No, that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. It's a little high powered this
Yeah.
early on in the game, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
So
understand.
that's why she's trying to do it organically
That's fair.
via plant.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Or at least I thought it was a tree. Now I'm not sure.
So at this point, we're bar crawling. We head over to the Slayer's Take. You're back at
Yeah,
the
I
Stone
did
Grove.
maybe I see them at some point. Hey, pop up.
So the question of the day is, you guys want the pub crawl to be the end of your 7-day, or do you want to be still at the end of your 4th day?
End of the fourth.
So we're still into the fourth day?
End of the
Got
seventh
shit
day-
we need to get done.
End of the 7th day, we want
I need to
have
set up my
that
criminal
the
empire.
feast, the party.
Make
Okay.
me some money.
So for brevity purposes is where we're going to finish tonight. You guys heading over to the Ivory Horn, and you're still at the Stone Grove doing your
Did
thing.
you guys see Delora while you were there?
Well, no, I liked how we got everything sorted for the Stone Grove and got all that started and going. So I wanted to make sure we got that part done at least tonight. And we're officially on vacation, folks. We are shut down till next Monday. Are we all good for next Monday as far as we know? Or do we have any
Yeah.
traveling going on?
Oh, good.
Good. All right. We will be back next Monday. Thank you, everybody. This
Next
was,
Monday is Zia's birthday.
yes, her little
Aw.
Papillon.
Everybody have a happy
Yes.
Thanksgiving.
Is,
I mean,
is our little
yeah.
Papillon in here with
It
us?
is.
Eat lots of food, you know.
It's lots of turkey, ham, roast beef,
Take a moment to
yams,
reflect on your life
marshmallows,
and
green
be thankful for the
beans,
things that are good.
French onion dip, and all the things that come with it.
She's thankful for Zia. See, you know.
I am
already-
thankful for Zia. Thankful every time I step in her poo.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's
Why you
gross.
gotta go there?
Grody.
All right, everyone. Thanks for coming out. Be safe. Be kind. Don't forget to play a game. It's good for your mental
Happy
health. We'll see you
holidays.
next Monday. Bye,
Happy
everybody.
There's no place like home for the holidays. No matter how far away you roam, if you pine for the
So I finally figured out what the bug is with the OBS Studio.
Uh,
Every time I minimize it, if it stays minimized for too long, all the cameras turn off.
oh gosh.
And I think it's a driver bug is
You
the
have to
reason why
not
it does that.
minimize it. You have to just go to a different.
Just gotta
screen.
leave it up. Yeah. So now I just because I left it up this whole time, and I noticed when I got up last time, I had minimized it, and when I'd come back, it was all the cameras had like dipped away. It was weird.
What did I do?
Nothing.
We're all staring.